Good afternoon, lads. I don't know why. Well, I was just listening to Laird. I don't need these in anymore, do I? What's going on? What's happening, lads? Feels weird being live. Haven't done it for a week on the dot. 23rd was the last time we were live, so yeah, it's been a little while. Hope we're all good. Alex Coombs, what's happening, mate? Shaji, if I've pronounced that right. What's happening, mate? Tom Halfyard. Norwegian GK, Buscetti, and what's on anime? What's happening, lads? I should be on Twitch as well. Let me have a double check just in case. I was telling Tom this morning, who kindly became my second sub on Twitch. Are we live? I don't know if we are, you know. Yeah, maybe we are live on Twitch. I don't know. We should be. I'm just going on there now just to check. Yeah, we're live. Okay. But yeah, I am now a Twitch affiliate, which is fun. Thanks to you guys over the last 12 days of that streaming bonanza we went on. We got enough watch hours or whatever it is to apply for, to be an affiliate. It's not a partner. It's something different. Like not as good as a partner, whatever that means. But yeah, I do have a couple of Twitch subs these days. So if anyone's got any primes lying around, I would gladly take them. Like I was saying, Tom became a member 4 hours ago. Actually, Ian Sorare was my first Twitch subscriber. So yeah, appreciate you lads a lot. Just catching up on the chat. Alex says Twitch subs now. Apparently, mate. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is though between. I mean, being a Twitch partner is obviously better. I haven't looked into it, but I don't know what makes it better. I don't know, a better split, I'm going to assume. I don't really know, but regardless, we are a Twitch affiliate, which is fun. Ben, what's happening, mate? Go on trades, watching the mighty Ipswich take all 3 points tonight. Maybe I will watch it. I've seen the game might be delayed, so I don't know whether that works in my favour or not. So I just got an email. And we just got a new follower on Twitch. Eddie, thank you for the follow, mate. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, if it's on TV, the game, like I'll be able to watch it after. Well, actually, what time does it kick off? Because we might still be live, you know. But I do hope your mighty Ipswich get a result, mate. You want to go to Twitch? James says. I'm just doing it on both, to be fair. What's on said? What's your Twitch? I think it's just Harry Trades Sorare. I'm pretty sure. Hookah, what's happening, mate? Happy to throw you a sub from Twitch. Oh, Major NFT, I appreciate that. Kubis, what's happening, mate? Yeah, Tom, you've got it. Harry Trades Sorare, that's it. Was watching on YouTube, but had the spare Prime sub. Oh, mate, what an absolute legend. I just realised then, you did just become a... two... Wow, Buscetti and Eddie. I've just become, subscribers on the old Twitch. Appreciate that, lads. Sam, what's happening, mate? What's happening, pal? So I'm just catching up with the chat because I don't know why I still look at like I've got it in two places now. I have it on the screen, but I also have it to the right of me, and I don't know why I still look at that. I should just look at the actual screen really because it's obviously the exact same, but it's a little bit smaller. What was I going to do? But yeah, we are here for gallery reviews. We've snuck the gallery reviews basically the last day of the month, but tomorrow. Normally we do it, in the 20s, but it's the 30th today, which is fine. Squeezing it in. And not everyone has, not everyone has sort of wanted a gallery review this month. Because things might be going well, or there's just no kind of need of it, which is fine. We can obviously get that going. Next month in Jan, but I'm excited about it. We just got another follower on the. I've got it on my mini feed, so that's how I'm being able to see this. But Digit Do, is that right? Andreas, thank you for the follow, lads. I appreciate that. A lot. Happy New Year, Stefan. Happy New Year, mate. Killane, what's happening, mate? All good, just stressing about selling James Maddison so frustrating. What, you want to sell him? Sam, or yeah, what's the conundrum there, and we'll see if we can figure it out. If you are watching on YouTube, can we give the old stream a little like, lads? It does really, really mean a lot to me. I'm just gonna have a look at what like count we're on. Sorry, I need to type in. We will give a card away as well at the end of the stream. So I'm just seeing what we're on over here. Okay, 11 likes. We're flying. I just made it 12. James said, I messed up. Bought a goalie from Tyrol. Anyone who wants him, come buy him, please. Madison and Son both going after this game weekend. Really, Tom? Wow. I mean, I get it. I get getting rid of Son. I think I would hold Madison, though. I think I know it's becoming infuriating to try and guess, when they're going to play and stuff. But, like, there's not that many, like, really good midfielders in the Prem. Like, there's enough, but there's not that many. Now that, like, the Saka mid-card's obviously injured and whatever. So, I don't know. I'd probably hold on. I don't know what his price is, but I'd probably hold on to Madders. I can see why. Yeah, I'd probably get rid of Son as well, in this situation. Philly says, Madison also driving me nuts, great season, but sub last 3 of the 4. I know, it's weird. But, like, these results they can't keep drawing or losing and not playing Madison, if you know what I'm saying? Like, if they were winning every one of these games and he wasn't playing, then I'd be a lot more worried for him. But they're not. They're not picking up results without him. You know what I mean? Like, so there is a glimmer of hope, I think. I really, really do think that. Sam says, yeah, just want to get rid of him and trade him, fed up of Anjans. But no, I do get it. Harry, you haven't been football lately or what? What do you mean? Have I been playing football? Or watching football? Mikey Baston, what's happening, mate? What's happening, pal? That's interesting, lads. So you see this weird. So this YouTube members goal thing that I've created, right? It must be linked to my Twitch somehow. Because it keeps going up. Like, and before it wasn't going up, was it? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's at 170. It's already gone up like 3 or 4 times already. But it must be to do with the Twitch subs. And JT Chelsea has just become a subscriber as well on Twitch. Mate, absolute legend for that. And Eddie's just... Now this is where it's confusing for me. Eddie, what is a bit? I'm going to sound like an absolute noob right now. But whatever 50 bits are, I need to understand what they are. So someone, preferably you, because you have just donated them, what are they? Please enlighten me, because I genuinely haven't got a clue. I know what subs are, like that's easy to follow. But the bits, that's when that's when it gets confusing for me, to be honest. Do you know any affordable Challenger forwards? Don't have to be in season. We can have a little look at them, Oompa Loompa. That's kind of what I've been doing scouting-wise for my road to glory now that I'm transitioning, from under 23 to Challenger. So, yeah, Tom, literally, I haven't got a clue. Genuinely on my life now, I don't have a clue what a bit is. Like, honest to God. I haven't been on Twitch for 2 years. They were just in my account. Interesting. I think bits are 1 cent per. Interesting. Thanks for the deal earlier, Harry. No worries at all, mate. I'll use the 3 cards in under 23. Oh, good luck, mate. All the best. Thank you for the respectable offer. I appreciate it. It's another way of donating. Interesting. Okay. Well, Eddie, I really do appreciate it. I know you said they were lying around in your account, but regardless, I'm more than happy to take them, whatever they are. Now we know a little bit more about them. Dia says, hello, mate. Can you review my gallery as well? I don't have access to Discord. I will try and do that, mate, at the end of towards the end of the stream. Obviously, the people who've, put their requests into Discord will get priority. So let me go through all them, and then we'll see. Basically what I'm saying is I'll do it at the end, 100%. Yeah, Andrea says another way of donating. Ian, what's happening, mate? Twitch rules. Yeah, Ian is a massive Twitch fan, and I'm seeing a lot of you guys are as well. I'll be honest, I never really got into watching Twitch streamers at all, ever. Genuinely. Like I'd see them on like clips and stuff on Twitter, I guess, or whatever. You know what I mean? But like, I never got into like watching people on Twitch. You know, I don't know. Raid says 100 bits is £1. Got you. I got you. I got you, mate. I appreciate the information. Dig it. Doe has just become a subscriber as well, or Twitch sub. Legend, mate. Thank you so much for that. I really, really do appreciate it, lads. I'm losing my Twitch virginity today. Well, I'm losing my Twitch affiliate virginity. I've been on Twitch before, but this is the first time. Yeah, this is all going on, lads. I'm a little bit flustered, maybe is the right word. I don't really know what's going on. But Eddie said, I used to play FIFA and watch those streams. Started playing Sorare a few weeks back. Oh, awesome, mate. Welcome into the community. That's awesome. Oh, major NFT is Digit Do on Twitch. Now that makes sense. Legend. Thank you, mate. Just looked up. Streamers get paid 0.01 per bit they receive. Got you. Thank you, Bichetti. Ian, what's happening, mate? Is there a Discord server or is it just a message to you? There is a Discord server. So if you become a YouTube member, you get access to to the Discord server that we have. Private, obviously, you have to become a member to do that. I haven't linked any of the Twitch stuff to Discord yet. I don't know whether I'm going to do that. I might. I don't know. I'm just sort of saying that the only way right now to get into the Discord is to become a YouTube member. That's the only way. It's been possible to do over the last year or so since we started the Discord. So yeah, it is it's a private Discord and it's only accessible after becoming a YouTube member. Ian says long time. Yeah, it is a long time, Ian. I haven't really seen your name in here for a while. So hope everything's well, mate. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year when that comes around in the next few days. Okay, let's get into then some of these gallery reviews. Let me blast through a couple of them and then we'll get back to the chat. And we'll kick on from there. Oh, wow. Tom's just gifted a ton of subs. What is going on, by the way? What is going on? We've been gifted all sorts, right? Too much going on for me, lads, I'll be honest. There's too much going on for me here. So Tom's gifted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jesus, Tom, what have you done here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tom has gifted 8 subs. Tom, really? Did you have to do that? In the nicest way possible? You've taken over my mini feed and it's like, all it says is just Tom. I can't see anything else, which I'm not complaining about, but Jesus, that... Oh, and Valorant has gifted a couple of subs as well. Yeah, I'm just seeing that now. Lads, you are unbelievable. Genuinely. I really, really appreciate that. Alex says, dusting off the old Twitch account as we speak. Yes, Al. MSSV, what's happening, mate? Long time no see. Got to support the boy on his new Twitch venture. Oh, you're an absolute legend, Tom. Genuinely. Absolute legends. Legend, sorry. I'll take your word on it. Good to know. No worries, Sam. Michael Pallet, what's happening, mate? Ian said, I quit the soccer side and have just bought back into the NBA side. Interesting. I'm hearing good things about the NBA product. I haven't played it myself, but I'm hearing like good things. Like even a couple of my like in real life friends are sort of texting me about it and saying they're playing it. So yeah, Man Munster's just followed us on Twitch as well. Appreciate that, mate. I can't believe what's going on here. We're flying on the old Twitch subs. I do need to change this goal though, don't I? Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try and figure out what or how many subs we have on Twitch, and then I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change that goal to Twitch subs because that will update, whilst we're live, basically. So, how do I figure this out? Community stream manager. Here we go. Wow. So we have 14. We have 14 Twitch subscribers, which is amazing. I'm gonna change this. So title, Twitch. Twitch subs, goal amount. What should we put the goal amount as? 50? We'll do goal amount 50 and we're starting on 14. And we'll just do, what should we do? Month, the 1st. We'll do the 15th of Jan. Let's just put that in for now. That should work, shouldn't it? There we go. So we've got 14 Twitch subs. I'm just checking on my Twitch account here. 137 followers, whatever that means. We've got 13 viewers over there. Amazing stuff. I'm on the Twitch. Come on then. Right, let me get back to the chat and then we'll we'll pop into the gallery reviews. Oh, time. What's happening, mate? Thank you for becoming a follower on Twitch. Who could the say, man? Yeah, we said man, so didn't we? Well, we're getting a ton of new followers. I swear, Twitch is the place. I don't know. I've been doing it wrong, lads. I think, haven't I? I think I've been doing it wrong. Being on YouTube for so long. I haven't bothered with the old Twitch stuff until literally the last month or so, to be honest. Michael Palla, get your gallery review into the Discord, just so I don't forget, mate. Josh Williams, what's happening, mate? Digito said, I don't normally use Twitch, but happy to help. I appreciate that a lot, mate, genuinely. I really do. Alex comes over on Twitch. Sorry, Holland, what's happening, mate? How many subs does he just get Mr. Trade into Labour? Mate, I honestly couldn't tell you at this point. Complete unknown. Ian is man monster, I love it. Nathan Williams, what's happening, pal? Bits is pretty much donations, I'm pretty sure. Appreciate that, mate. Appreciate the information. Mason said I want to invest in some cards, but do not know who to really get. I mean, you know, the obvious, not the obvious, but the advice I would give Mace is just like stick to players you know. Like if that's the Prem, then like just buy Prem cards. You know, you want to make as many cheap mistakes as possible with cards you know, if that, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to be just buying random cards because they look like they score well, but you don't have a clue who they are or whatever. Tom's just donated another lot of Twitch subs. Tom, this is too much, mate. This is too much. What is going on? Lamb's just become a Twitch subscriber as well. Lads, you're too nice. Far too nice. Sorry, this Twitch, the stream's flying here. Anyone with a Amazon Prime should and easily give you a subscription free month and just keep renewing. Hope it leads to revenue. I appreciate that a lot, mate. Yeah, I literally, I'll be honest, I've neglected it. Twitch, that is. I literally didn't want to mess with it because I don't understand how it works, if that makes sense. I know it might be relatively simple to a lot of you, and like YouTube just makes sense to me. You know, there's just you know, there's subscribers and there's members. Like it's just a simple concept. But when it's Twitch and there's donations and there's bits and there's subs and follow, like there was just too much going on for me to want to like jump into it for a while. But yeah, I'm probably at a time now where, you know, we might as well give it a go. We've got nothing to lose, have we? But yeah, honestly, you guys have made my day here. This is mental. Genuinely didn't expect this at all. Like I literally just did my Twitch affiliate thing yesterday, signed up to it and whatever. The Twitch view went up double. Interesting. Oh, because everyone went over probably. How many reviews have we got today? Hoping for a 3-hour stream. It could be a long one, Nath. We've got like just over 30 odd galleries to review. It'll probably end up being more with, you know, people in the chat maybe who are members but aren't in the Discord, stuff like that. But yeah, we'll get into it. GD, what's happening, mate? Yeah, I'm just getting to Tom, absolute legend. Up the Twitch. FPL Insights, what's happening, mate? What's happening? Feels good being top of the championship, up the leads. Love it, mate. Jake, in relation to the referral link, do you still get the £50 credits if I only buy 5 cards for 70 odd p? I think so, mate. I'm pretty sure, Jake. Yeah, I haven't done that on my side, if that makes sense. Like I'll only get, like I won't get £50 credit or whatever. But yeah, it obviously does help me out. But yeah, as far as on your side, I'm pretty sure you can, mate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can buy, you know, any price card basically from auction or instant buy, and yeah, you'll get your £50 credits. Double check with somebody in the chat. I'm sure somebody will be able to maybe correct what I've just said there. Alex Coombs just become a subscriber. Sam as well, I appreciate it. We're on 17. We are flying, by the way. Absolutely flying. Sam says from YouTube chat to Twitch. Everyone's just bailing on YouTube. This is class. This is class. YouTube this time felt like there was an imbalance. You're unbelievable, Tom. Absolute legend. Someone just got paid, Alex said. Andreas loves Twitch. I appreciate the follow, mate. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not going to try and pronounce that, sorry. Mason said, try that with the Scottish Prem. Hasn't went well. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, mate, because, like, you know, that's a league where there's 2 main teams that dominate, right? Celtic and Rangers. And it's like, if you don't have a mixture of those players, you're just up against it. Whereas like in the Prem, at least there's like 8 to 10 teams that could do something every weekend. Do you get what I'm saying? That's probably where, you know, that becomes an issue, or where it does become an issue. Sorry. Cam, what's happening, mate? I don't really use this often. I was usually watching Magic the Gathering content. Interesting. So happy to be here for something else. That's awesome, mate. Yeah, Magic's huge, isn't it? Magic's massive, especially on like Twitch and stuff. I do have a Discord server. Lozjek, however we're going to pronounce that, sorry. But yeah, I do have a Discord server. Right now it's only linked to my YouTube members, if that makes sense. I am probably going to make one for Twitch members as well. Twitch subs, that is. It probably will end up being the same Discord, so I'll have to link that as soon as possible. But yeah, there will be some sort of perk for becoming a sub, lads. Don't worry, 100%. 100%. Tom says, if anyone has been gifted a membership, lads, yeah, get in the Discord. 100%, especially on YouTube, Tom. You're completely right. I would have thought so, but didn't see the price requirement or anything. Yeah, I think you're right, Jake. I think you're right. Log says you get 50% off auctions and new cards till you've saved $50. Got you. Clicking heads. What's happening, mate? Challenges is Jacob Brown's world and we're just living in it. 100%. Basheti switches Twitch as well. No ads and less delay, it seems. Yeah, I've heard there's I think Twitch is like quicker than YouTube. Yeah, there is less delay. Right, let's get into some gallery reviews, lads. We've done enough dilly-dallying. So first up was Peter. So Peter, if you are with us, hello. If you're not, no worries. And Peter, all Peter wants to kind of know is, would love to get slowly into rare squads. Any suggestions would be amazing. So I've just got a Discord message. Sorry, I'm just catching up with a Discord message. 2 seconds. Okay, yeah, so Peter basically wants to get into some rare squads. He's already got, 35 rare cards. They're from a variety of different sort of regions. Like you've got champ cards here, you've got a bit of contender, and a bit of chal, I think maybe. There's some decent cards here that you could probably sort of start playing around. Couple of in season ones as well. There's obviously no starting keeper, so that's probably your next get, isn't it? Especially for champ there. I can't remember if you had any chal. Yeah, you have the MLS chal. I guess you've got like basically a full team there of Austin cards, which is nice. Like they're not going to break the bank. Obviously, you're looking at like a £50 worth of team there, which will be nice. Come February or end of February when that rolls back around. You could add a few better cards to that to help the Austin core out. Like Stuver's good, O'Brien's half decent, Drusi's obviously a good player if he doesn't move, but same for Johnny Russell. I think is going to move probably somewhere in the MLS. But yeah, it kind of just depends on what region you want to play the most. Where you're going to put your eggs effectively. Because again, you've got a couple of in-season Rijeka players. You don't have you do have a keeper. You have the Gorica keeper. Okay, well, yeah. You've got a little in-season setup over in contender, which is fine enough. You got Dakovic as well, nice. So you can basically make 2 squads worth of there. So you're closest to playing in season. Well, you're already there in contender, which is nice. But obviously Croatia has a little bit of a break. I'd probably. Obviously depends on your budget, and you haven't told me necessarily what your budget is, which is fine. But I'd probably add a few decent classic MLS cards to this little cohort that you have already, because you've got a decent goalie, got a decent midfielder. Add a defender or 2 into that. Add another forward or 2, and you could be in with a chance with a decent challenger a challenger classic team. As far as champions go, I think there's a little bit more work to do. Like there's a couple of decent classic cards here, but if you're going to want to play in season, keeper's the tough one here. As far as price goes and and stuff like that. But I wouldn't spread yourself too thin in that, like, you have a bit going on in each region here. I'd probably condense it into 2. So whether you chop off challengers or you chop off champ, you've already got a nice little setup in contender in season. So I'd probably just like keep that, because there is still some yield in those in-season cards to the end of the Croatian season. But I would probably think about maybe condensing champ or challengers, if that makes sense. Like, go with one or the other. Like, don't spread yourself too thin, especially when you're working your way up the scarcities, you know? Because these days it's quite rare for somebody to move to limited to rare. It's more now like, if you're playing limited classic, a limited champ or prem, you move to Bundesliga, then you move to champ, and then you move to challenger in the same scarcity, like in limited, you know? You go vertically. Horizontally? I don't know, whatever way it is. Basically what I'm saying is not many people move from limited to rare anymore. It's not as rare as you kind of, or once used to be. So I hope that makes sense, mate. And we can discuss any more sort of players and ideas you have in the Discord, mate. I appreciate you a lot, Peter. Okay, Gary's up next saying, why can't I not win a reward to save my life when my gallery is very strong? Jokes aside, can you just check to see what you'd add to my champ in season? Let's do it, mate. Let's do it. Champ in season. So I know you've got a good amount of depth here. Let's see if we can spot any weaknesses per se. Okay, just catching up on the chat. DD is just subbed to us on Twitch as well. DD, absolute legend. Kieran Daniels the same. Lad, you're unbelievable. I probably need to get the... Where's my my Twitch? Is it this one? Yeah, this is it. That should have... Where should we put it? It's kind of in the way, isn't it? I don't know. Do we put it anywhere, or should we just sack it off? We'll put it there for now. We'll put it there. Sorry if it's annoying. But yeah, massively appreciate DD and Kieran there. Sorry, just catching up on the chat. Motordays just become a tier 1 sub as well. Motordays, you are an absolute legend. I have Dejan Petrovic. Somebody says, Michael says, I have put my gallery review in Discord. Oh, no, not too late, Mike. Michael at all, mate. Not too late at all. Watching on YouTube, running on mute on Twitch. Vamos, that's funny. That's hilarious. Reviews are for members, yeah. The YouTube members, that is, for now. I haven't set up the Twitch stuff yet, but I will definitely be setting up the Twitch stuff to link to the Discord as well. And so that'll be a whole thing. It was free for me via Amazon Prime. But nowhere else I'd rather use it. DD, mate, you're an absolute flipping legend. Big up the Twitch. Big up the Twitch. It means a lot to me, lads, honestly. Okay. Champ keepers. Raya, Samba. Vasquez, Nicholas. So the first thing that stands out to me here, like outside of Raya and Samba's moving, isn't he, to Ren? Not that that's an issue right now. To be fair, Nicholas has been okay. But like, there's not like a plethora of like really good goalkeeper options. You know, I know we've only looked at keepers right now, but I'd like to think that might be what's letting you down right now. Just before going into anything else, I'm going to assume that is going to be a bit of an issue compared to like your defenders here. You've got an unbelievable array of. I mean, you just have to look at the L5s and L15s. You know, they're just way better, obviously here, than the keepers. I'm not saying every keeper has to have an L15 of 80, 87. That's not going to happen, is it? But you know what I mean. Like, you've just got more to choose from. You know. So yeah, I think defenders are fine. I just do think maybe a couple of better keepers. Midfielders are elite. Musiala, Odegaard, you know, Kimmich. It doesn't really get much better, does it? Obviously, Wirtz is probably the main missing piece there. If you were to be able to get someone like him in. Saka being injured is an absolute killer, as we know. Lookman's been great. Mamouche, Martinelli, Sane, Bakwa, McNeil, Esposito. Okay, yeah, for 3 squads, you've probably got enough. I wouldn't, like, now that Saka's injured, that does make things tricky, I'm not going to lie. So if I'm being really picky, I'd say maybe another forward or 2. A Kavicha maybe, someone in season, you know, for Napoli. And then I think I'm looking at maybe bringing in one other keeper. to be honest. I know Majeki will come back in for Monaco maybe, so that might look a little bit better. But I'd probably say, yeah, defenders and mids look okay. I'm just thinking forwards and goalkeepers are the two I'd focus on, which, shock horror, they're the hardest two positions to get right on this game. Simple as that. Saka's out for a while, Philly did it. I'm talking like 2 months or something. Bichetti said, I'm pretty sure you can hide the common cards on SD and Sedentary. Oh, as in like his commons? Yeah, you can, can't you? There is some way you can do that. I mean, or you can just filter by scarcity. I can just do that and then I won't see them. But yeah, you are right, mate. You are right. Skorupski quite cheap, yeah. Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout at all. Okay, next up is Tobe. Man United Tobe. Tobe's asking, basically just look over my La Liga and Champions season. What do I need? Any glaring holes? Let's do it. I remember we did this last time, didn't we? We made a couple of additions in midfield, if I remember rightly. Let's see what we got going on over here then. Let's see what we got going on. Probs March before he's back in contention, really, Tom says, yeah. Franco Luck was... Yeah, Franco's the starter now, isn't he, for Sporting? Lads, what should I do about the chat? Is it like in the way to the point where like it's really annoying? What about if I put it there so you can see all the cards? Is that a bit better? And then I tell you what, give me that little the Twitch thing. I'm gonna throw that in there. Probably makes it really annoying, but perfect. Yeah, the lads love it. Let's go. Thank you, lads. My layout game's a little bit better now. Okay, goalkeepers then. Unai Simon working his way back in, which is great. Bryce Samba, Nubel, Bulka, Vasquez, Herrera, Trapp, Zetera, Ronau. Okay, you've definitely got enough going on there for me in goalkeeper. Hakimi, Oliveira, Hernandez, Agued, Danso, Starfelt, Vivian Balde, Carmona, Paredes, Jimenez, Friedel. I like it. Ratiu. Yeah, you've got enough. You've got enough defender depth there for me. Kama. Wow, I didn't realize you wanted Kama. That's awesome. Mitoma, Isco, Amiri, Griffo, Esugo. He's been really good, hasn't he? Melu, Adli, Mia, Freuler, Teji, James, Chotard. Okay, yeah, there's some decent ones down here as well. Lakonga, Danny Parejo. Couple of Lakongas. Is there anyone else in that sort of mid-range champ mid options though? We might have a little look at that, but again, I still think you're probably more than fine. Duck Esposito, Torres, Orsolini, Silva, Perrin, Moreno, Nordin, Luca Bacchio, Perez, Carlson, Bergstart, Iago, Delinga, Boga. Again, you look pretty set. Miovski. I'm not seeing any like glaring holes, if I'm being honest. The only I don't know what the price difference is. Let's have a look. I was just sort of thinking then, like, what is the difference between an Amiri? Let's see, it's like double. The only thing for me is I think it comes to a point where you kind of have to start looking at, okay, your best classic cards you usually use. Is there a world where you can turn them into the in-season versions to make your team one stronger, Like, let's say, Amiri's your best player for a weekend, like this, whenever they play next, the Bundesliga, and he's going to be a classic card, which is fine, you can go 4-1. But you turning that Amiri into an in-season Amiri, that allows you then to play, like, your second best classic card in there as well. And I'm just thinking, is there something there that, it might not make complete sense all the time with certain cards, because the difference between the in-season and the classic might be like too vast. Maybe, that Amiri example doesn't work. Like Dux, for example, what is his okay, I mean, it's not double. Like, it is double with Amiri, but I guess the numbers are smaller, aren't they, of course. I don't know. There's definitely something in that, I think, that could potentially help. like a Friedel. Like, what is Friedel's? I'm not saying he's your best defender, but like things like that. I look at that and go, the classic's 160. The in-season's only £3. I know it is double. Like as far as the ratio is the same, but obviously we're just talking about smaller amounts of money. Like, do those sort of things help? It's not going to help, away to Leipzig, but the next 3 home games are pretty tasty, That's kind of where I'm looking at with stuff like that. I don't know. There's definitely something in that, I think, to kind of look at. So I'm just catching up. Hakimi as a reward is such a flex, 100%. Welsh Wizard becomes a tech wizard. I'm trying, mate. I am trying. Fury Sin, what's happening, mate? Got suspended for no reason and didn't realise it gets rid of my teams. I would have won humble $25. No way. That's so annoying, Leon. I'm sorry about that, mate. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, Tobe. There's nothing crazy that I'm like, oh, you definitely need to pick up this champ card, Like, I'm just thinking about, like, some of the better classic cards you have. Is it worth, like, looking into them and going, okay, can I swap them somehow with a bit of cash for the in-season version, which allows my best team to be even better sometimes? Not all the time, but, like, for example, you can't play Dutch and Amiri in the same lineup because they're both classic, as you obviously know. So, there's definitely something in that, I think. I'm not saying it's like glaringly obvious, but that's kind of where my mind goes straight away with your gallery. But again, I don't think it's like a necessity. I think things are looking pretty good with you. Okay, Sid, do I start saving for 24-25 cards or need to make some more tweaks to try and win big for the rest of the season? Now, any tweaks to address right now? I'll have a look now, Sid. Appreciate you, mate. Appreciate you a lot. Come on then. So what are you playing? I know you've got contender cards. Oh wow, you've got big La Liga cards, haven't you? Oh yeah, you've got like the 3 La Liga smashers, haven't you? I remember. Yeah, you're heavily La Liga based. Interesting. I mean, as far as your rares go, from what I remember, you had literally everything you could probably ask for. That's weird. Why does Robertson's floor come up higher than all these? That don't make sense, no? That surely doesn't make sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being stupid here, but floor high to low. There's no way Robertson should come up there, should he? Anyway. Aguirre, Levi Colwell, Gutierrez. Yeah, I mean, there's not much you're really missing from La Liga, like I said, from what I remember. 2 Judes, Pedri, Bruno, Valverde, McAllister. You've got a nice mix of champ cards in there as well. Tchouameni, Cardoso. There's just a lot of depth here, A lot of depth. Maybe like a rare Isco. Does Isco maybe fit into the mould somewhat? Maybe, Sid. I don't know. Your forwards are ridiculous. Like, it literally doesn't get any stronger, does it? For like a champ cohort. I don't know if you've got challenger rares. Yeah, not really. And then contenders. Mate, honestly, I think it's got to be a case of, especially with your rare cards, like, you have every opportunity to yield, like, it's one of them where, not saying you should be, but like, you kind of should be, not saying you haven't, again, no shade, I'm just saying, like, you've got the tools to do it. It's just about doing it, right? And things falling for you, getting lucky, get your lineups right, like, it's all that stuff that ultimately is in our control, but sometimes just, becomes tougher than we'd like. Yeah, I don't think I'd be putting much more into what you've got. I think it's a case of, rinsing them to the end of the season in season-wise. And yeah, see what you can yield from, and then I'd probably start saving. I don't know whether you're interested in playing the MLS. Obviously, those will come out in end of Feb, 24-25 cards. If you're not interested in that, and you're just looking to go again in La Liga, then I think it's a case of just seeing what you can do with what you've got. A La Liga and champ, that is. I don't think you can do much more. Peter, what's happening, mate? Jake says you're from Wales. Yeah, I am from Wales. My missus is from Wales. She's in Abigail? I don't know how to pronounce that, to be honest. I've never heard of that. I mean, there's loads of Abbas, and I'm Welsh speaking as well, to be fair. But yeah, I don't know if you've... Yeah, I don't know where that is, honestly. Is that South Wales, Jake? Or is that North? Robertson's floor says 104. Got you. Ringe, what's happening, mate? Raul, what's happening, pal? I did do your gallery first, Pete. Yeah. It's up to you, mate. If you want to go back, you can go back. But yeah, I did do your gallery first, mate. So yeah, if you want to scroll back, you obviously can, and then catch up with us. But yeah, we did go through your gallery, mate. Okay, Maleras. Just mainly in season competitions. I'm also branching into rare card selection, but don't know where to start. Okay. Interesting. Let's have a look what we've got going on here. So, where are your best cards? Your best cards are in Prem in season, it seems. Okay, you've got a bit of Challenger in season going on, a bit of Contender as well. Like, I don't want to be the person to be like, don't go into Rare. But a part of me wants to say that as well. Because, like, I still think there's probably work to be done at Limited for you. Now, if you're in a position where you just, you have the budget to, like, go and smash Rare, then do it. But I'm going to assume that that's not, like, the entire case. And so, like, you have some good class, some good in-season cards here, throughout the 3 regions. I don't know if the next progression is, like, go up to Rare, like I mentioned at the start, if you were here. Like, I think it's getting better where you're already playing, if you know what I mean. Like, you have some good cards. Rice, Bruno, João Pedro, Nick Pope. You have good cards, but like, I'm not seeing a Cole Palmer in there. I'm not seeing, I know Saka's injured, but a Salah, for example. Like, if you want to win at Premier League in season, you're going to need those big cards. It's just as simple as that. They don't have to be in season, because you could have a couple of classics flying in here, because you do have a lot of in season already. So you could play the 4-1 and go 4 in season, 1 classic. I think that's my advice. I don't think personally you'd be ready to go up to Rare. Like, I just don't see the benefit in you doing that. That's just the way I'm seeing it. No worries at all, Peter. No worries at all, mate. So I'm just catching up. Oh, Abigail is in very north. Yeah, see, I'm a South Walian, so I know where Frill is. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, genuinely never heard of it, to be fair. Us Southerners don't really go much further than the South, to be honest. But that's awesome, mate. That's class. I'm guessing she's a Welsh speaker, because not everyone, but a lot of North Walians do speak Welsh. It's a lot more popular than it is down south where I'm from. But yeah, my parents did send me to Welsh school, so I am one of the few in South Wales that do speak. I mean, there's obviously quite a few that do, but I mean, as a percentage, a lot more do speak it in North. Still looking at this Asugo from last gallery, looking tempting. He's a good player. He's a good player. Daniel, what's happening, mate? I had a great Christmas, mate. Thank you so much. Can't stick around today. That's okay, Dan. I hope you had a good Christmas yourself, mate, and Happy New Year. Siddy, what's happening, mate? I literally just did your gallery 5 minutes ago. So decent timing, but yeah, go scroll back a little bit and you'll be able to see kind of what I said. But basically, mate, it's all guns blazing for you, I think. It's all about just trying to yield as much as possible, in these next sort of 5 months. Not much, to be honest. She doesn't have the accent either. That's weird. That's interesting. I kind of like the North Walian accent sometimes, because it's very Scouse, isn't it? Or like Mancunian. It's quite similar. Depends where you're from in Wales, but you know what I mean. Can be a bit of or like Wrexham and Manchester and stuff. But yeah, I hope that makes sense, mate. And we'll move on to Cameron. Improve my depth in Bundesliga, and really, I'm only missing the stars in that league. If you were to get 1 or 2, who would you pick up? I'm guessing you mean stars there. Stupidly miss Verts being really low, and he bounced up to near £100. But do I go for a defender and forward or 2 mids? All I really have to ask, because I'm pretty comfortable with the in-season stuff. That's amazing, Cam. Let's have a look. I've got 1 classic card left, so maybe one of the big buys could be in classic to make it cheaper. 100%. Willing to spend about 100, 150. Okay. Let's have a look where the obvious gap is in the Bundesliga stuff. So in goal you have Trapp, Galassi, Baumann, Ronau. Okay, so 4 keepers, perfect. That's enough. If you're only playing 3 lineups, having 4, 5 would be nice, but obviously you're not wasting 2, but you know what I mean. You're not prioritizing 2 every week, which is whatever. Grimaldo, Mittelstadt, Kim, okay, so from what I'm seeing here, I wouldn't be buying any of the in-season. Well, okay, let me keep going for now. I don't think defender is going to be where you're going to put all your eggs. Bischoff, great. Brand's looking pretty good after he's back from injuries. Stiller, Griffo, Amiri, Doan, Starch. Okay. Gross, Fulrich. You've got great depth. Again, you obviously know you don't have any of the big boys, which is what we're going to try and work out what the best one is, or best maybe 2. Boniface, Dutch, Ekatike, Garassi, Nusa, Kleinheist, Kramrich, Bergstadt. For me, like Duksha has been really good. Mamouche, Ekatike has been good. I think forward's probably your weakest spot. Now, I don't know what the issue is. Well, not the issue, but like, what is... Can you even buy the forward Musiala? Okay, so the forward Jamal is not even that expensive compared to the classics right now. Like, I think something like that is what I'd be doing. I'd try and get the Virtual Musiala forward card, the classic, and play that as like your best classic card in your best lineup. I think that's where I'm at. Like from the bat. Yeah, it's going to be quite hard to get. The forward Vert is a little bit more expensive. I mean, if you're picking between one of them, I'm probably going Vert. Maybe. It's not much in it, if I'm being honest. Even though price-wise, Musiala is a bit cheaper. If you want to go for the cheaper one, I wouldn't be mad. Like, they're both very, very good. What's like a Kimmich? What's a Kimmich in season worth? Kimmich in season 83. I mean, you could go Kimmich in season, and you could go Musiala forward, and then you've just completely bettered your first lineup by a country mile, haven't you? You've got Kimmich as the mid, and then you've got Musiala as the classic forward, and then obviously you can go Grimaldo in defence and whoever in extra. But you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what I would do. I'd go and get a Musiala forward, and I would get a Kimmich in season. I think that's where I'm at there, Cam. Sorry, I'm going to catch up with the chat, lads. I neglected you. Peter says, I'm back. Thanks for the feedback. No worries. Probably going to get rid of the Austin boys. Yeah, okay. That was one of the things I suggested, Peter. I'm glad you picked up on that. And I'm glad we're on the same wavelength there. And yeah, get yourself a rare starting keeper. Is that in Champ, Pete? Or is that somewhere else? Funny you say that her dad lives in Manchester. Yeah, that explains it, Jake, doesn't it? That explains it. Hack says, hey mate, can you make an extra RTG episode next week to explain your strategy and your buys? Or will the Thursday episode be longer? I don't know whether it'll necessarily be... It probably will end up being longer than today's episode. But yeah, well, there should be an episode out on Thursday, I hope. And the birds sound a bit filthy from North Wales. They can do, Ian. Yeah, they can do, to be fair. Hack, there'll definitely be my next video will be me explaining all my buys and stuff, basically, from the challenger situation, 100%. In Champ, but don't know who. Yeah, Champ keepers are not cheap, and also, I mean, your best bet's probably somebody in Ligue 1, I would say. Ligue 1 or Serie A, I'd probably say. They're probably going to be a bit cheaper on average. Obviously, maybe not the best ones. But yeah, Champ keepers in general are just a horrible thing to buy, Peter, if I'm being honest. Wirtz forward over Salah. Well, he's playing Bundesliga, so yeah, it'd have to be, but yeah, I still think I'm taking Wirtz forward over Salah, regardless. Okay, Hatam, what's happening, mate? Have moved more into Prem in season, so more of what you think I'm missing there. I also need to improve my goalkeeper situation in all comps, especially under 23s. Okay, so in season, is that in season rare? Hands? As in like Prem in season rare? Let's have a look. No, definitely limited, isn't it? That's fine. That is fine. Let's have a look what we've got going on here then. So, Henderson is our in-season keeper. Okay, so you got a couple of the Newcastle boys. I know you're a massive Newcastle fan. Bruno Tonali, I mean, yeah, the last couple of weeks have definitely been the Newcastle weeks, haven't they? Isak, Gordon, love it. Ishmael Assar, crafted, that's really nice. Forwards look strong. Bruno Tonali, Kovacic, okay. I'd say mids are pretty fine as well. As long you're only going to be playing one in-season lineup every week. For now. I guess you could play two, couldn't you? You could play an old season keeper, technically. I don't think you're missing a ton, if anything, honestly. I really don't. Yeah, Tarkovsky. I think you've got enough. I don't think there's nothing that's like glaringly obvious here that I'd be chipping into. Lewis Cook's a handy card, take set pieces. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know if I'm touching any of the Prem stuff. And then you said under 23 keepers. Yeah, I think you've got enough to get by there. Okay, under 23 keepers. Oduro's back now, which is nice. Schulte will be aging out soon. Trendler the same, but has been scoring pretty well actually. So are we talking like European under 23 cards, under 23 goalkeepers, Hatam? Let's have a look. Under 23 keepers are a weird place right now. There's not that many great ones. And then there's not a ton of like mediocre ones either. Sorry, there's a ton of mediocre ones. I don't know, it's just a weird place. Like Trafford is the best one right now, isn't he? But he's expensive as hell. Lamon's 15 quid. Obed's decent, 22 quid. Hado's gone on a bit of a break. Kone, Chevalier 34, probably a bit punchy, isn't it? You've obviously got Strendelar. Robin Roofs could be worth a punt. I mean, Layson's flying now, isn't he? Under the Coleman train. Now that he's become Leuven manager. Campos could be decent for 6 quid, you know? That feels okay. I mean, he's cheap enough and his scores, he can peak. Like, I'm probably having that at 6 quid. He's the one that stands out for me so far. This guy's not bad as well. Plays for Eibar. Magyum Giota, however you pronounce it. I mean, he hasn't been great the last couple, but La Liga 2 is normally decent for under 23 goalkeepers. I still think I'm sticking to what we said earlier. I still think we're sticking to Campos there. He's probably the one that stands out to me, Hattons, to be honest, mate. Okay, next up is Cameron. Cameron says, just general areas of improvement, which positions I should focus on improving, and is it time for quality over quantity for my gallery? Let's have a look. I mean, you're the challenger expert these days, Cam. You know more than me these days. For Chal. Okay, Israel, Kuzman's, Roof, Mignolet, Schulte, Schendela looking to get rid of. Brandhorst, nice. For 3 in season, I know you play Classic as well, but you've got the keepers. Like I don't think there's much outside of those keepers that you need. Boscagli, Flamingo, Arajo, Disciper, Hanko, Wagner when he comes back, Alba, Kayembe, Renge, Satalo. Like, excluding MLS stuff for now. Like, is there much more you can get? Maybe that Caceres for Benfica, if I'm being really picky. I mean, I know we're jumping on scores and stuff, but like Porto are scoring really well right now, like from a defensive standpoint. And even attacking wise, maybe having a bit of Porto exposure. Like, Otavio's probably the one. This Martin Fernandez has been doing really well. Galano's not a defender card. Maybe if I'm being picky, maybe an Otavio there potentially. But again, I'm not like, I don't think it's like a necessity. You've got Buscaglia, you've got the best one. Veerman, Goncalves obviously injured. Zorgan, Vanaken, Sara, Cham's a nice one, obviously. Stengs, Hazard's back, which is fun. Bragancia, I don't know how to pronounce it, whatever it is. Jordi Mihailovic, Sven Coombs. I mean, obviously you've got the elite ones, really. Are you missing like a Nico? I think a Nico would probably slot in quite nicely in there, wouldn't he? And I know you're aware of who he is and stuff, but forwards are solid. Like, I love the forwards you kind of have because they're very AA based forwards. Mertens, Struikers, Di Maria, Dreyer, and Trincao. Buanga's obviously MLS. Love the Brahimis. I don't think you need to do anything in forwards, honestly, mate. Just think you're a little bit light in midfield. Just a little bit when we're talking in season. I know you're trying to sell the Vanaken. Obviously, Pote's injured. So, like, you're looking at Veerman and Zorgan, and Veerman's not even locked right now. Sara's fine, obviously. Cham, I love Cham. I'm a massive Cham fan. I don't know. I mean, Nico Gonzalez is probably the one of, if not the best. I know he's under 23, so he has a bit of that baked in, which is not ideal if you're not playing him there. But he is Not many better midfielders than him right now, I wouldn't say, in Chal. He's got to be up there, hasn't he? Excluding MLS. Tillman's obviously huge as well. Yeah, Di Maria, Saibari. Juan could be an interesting one. I know it says he's injured. I don't know what that injury is, but he's one that should probably be taken. I think Vlap's a nice cheap option, by the way. I love Michael Vlap. Takes set pieces for 20. He does come off the field quite early, which is really annoying. Nico's obviously there, massive fan. I like Haspalat. Lasana's looking pretty good recently. Cherry's solid as well. Very, very solid. I like Maxime. I think Maxime's sneaky good. There's no in-season cards, which is annoying, but he is decent. Obviously, if you want to get into Turkey. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Tanaka on form. Is Tanaka on form? I don't think he's been great the last couple, has he? I mean, yeah, this game was fine. 30 AA. Only one good score in the last 7 games, really, isn't it? You could count that as good as well, maybe. Two in the last 7. I guess he's been fine. So that's reassuring. I was looking at Juan. Yeah. Juan and Tillman. I mean, they're the best ones, really, and Nico. But that I'm going down all PSV rabbit hole without collections. Yeah, but you're not going to play them all in the same lineup, so it doesn't really matter as much, Thomas Araujo will play and improve. I like Araujo a lot. Casera is very good, yeah. James said, just put mine in the Discord, mate. Am I too late? No, you're not, James. You're not too late. No stress. Is Dimitrievski worth getting, as he probably be number 1 for Valencia next year? Yeah, I think Mamadashvili's back quite soon, though, Peter. Have a check on that. I have a Dimitrievski myself, but I'm pretty sure Mamadashvili's back in the next... I don't know, but call it 2 weeks or something. Someone in the chat will know. But yeah, make sure you're... Yeah, someone in the chat will know, basically. Hopefully. If they don't, then we're in trouble. So let me just have a little drink with my huge bottle. Oh, new subscriber. Sunmosh. Absolute legend, mate. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry, lads. Fuck. He's supposed to be back tomorrow, is he? Fucking hell. I knew it was soon, but I didn't think it was that soon. That's mental. Yeah, I get... Timer clock says, according to Sorare data, interesting. Do we maybe think I just convert Vanaken to in-season? I mean, I'd take a Nico Gonzalez over Vanaken all day, personally. Be interesting to see if Dan James will get in the next Wales squad. Oh, 100% he gets in. Yeah, of course. He'll definitely be in the next Wales squad, Michael. He was in the last one. He was in the last one. What does subscribing do on Twitch? Right now, to me, not too much in that, I mean, it helps me out, the Twitch Prime stuff or whatever it is, or the subs. But I haven't, linked my Twitch to the Discord yet. I will do that quite soon in the next few days. Yeah, I'll link the Twitch. So if you're a Twitch sub, you'll get into the Discord. Basically, is something that I'll definitely work on. But yeah, right now it doesn't do anything for you necessarily, Sunmosh, but that will become a thing. So, but yeah, I massively appreciate you becoming a member. But yeah, I haven't figured out the link yet, between Discord and Twitch and stuff. Do you reckon Palmer gets more than 46 points a day? Yeah, surely he does. You probably double that. You'll probably get over 80, to be honest. Okay, next up is another Callum. But this time, he goes by Arsenal 8575. Okay, with Saka being out for the next few months, would you say I still have enough depth or maybe need to sell to get a Palmer? Let's have a look. Do we have enough depth up front in the Premier League to absorb a Saka? Cunha, I mean, it looks like Cunha might have just got injured as well himself, right? So that doesn't help, which is really unlucky for you. Watkins, Trossard could definitely step into the Saka role. Obviously, it's nowhere near the same, but you know what I mean. Gordon's coming good right now, which is nice and welcomed. I don't know. I don't even think you necessarily need a Palmer. I think if you could get like an Isak, you know, sell a Saka, and I know it's not ideal like as far as prices go and stuff. Or like Cunha as well. Maybe sell a Cunha. Somehow try and fit. Yeah, if you can get a Palmer, great. But I think even an Isak would be more than needed, more than fine. What have we got? Rice, Odegaard, Havertz, Kudus. Yeah, you've got enough in midfield. Gabriel, Lewis Hall. Again, you've probably got enough in defence. You're probably going to want a Timber, I'm going to assume, because Timber's been really good for Arsenal and looks like he's locked down that right back position right now. Maybe a Timber in there, potentially. Got some great goalkeeper depth. Yeah, I think an Isak would be just fine to go with the Gordon and stuff. If you could potentially offload the Cunha, I'd probably offload the Cunha before I do the Saka, because yeah, you're taking a big haircut on that Saka, you know, and I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. But that's up to you to kind of decide. But like the Cunha, you bought him for 19 quid, so you could sell him for roughly the same. What does an Isak cost? It's probably like 30 odd, isn't it? I don't know, but yeah, 44. Yeah, 44 for the in-season. It's basically 2 Cunhas worth, but I think something like that works. You know, the next couple of fixtures, like look at those 4 there. Lovely fixtures. Yeah, Cunha suspension starts soon, 100%. Great shout. Great shout. Cam says MLS prices are going to be crazy. My cards, which are mostly the premium players, are more expensive now than when I bought them last season. Wow, really? Excuse me. Yeah, it was because Cam. It was probably because at the time everyone was getting out of those cards to get into the new champ cards. You know. Yeah, I bet that has something to do with it. I reckon. Beamer watch Ipswich win 3. Yeah, it's bound to happen, isn't it? But that's kind of where I'm at with that, Cam. Lounge Trader, probably one of the most successful players in my Discord right now. Absolutely smashing it. Andreas, feel fairly strong to very strong in all areas. I'm looking to add a Champions League, Bundesliga, Prem smasher or 2 in total. Apart from Rafinha, who would you go for? Ooh, good question. Does it revert back to... Oh, wait there. We'll have a look. What we got going on first. Interesting. I mean, he's not cheap, as we know. Can we see his Sorare results? Yeah, I'll show you after I've just sort of given the lowdown on what I think. But you got some great forwards here. We'll start off at forward. If we're talking smashes, though, like would maybe a Salah in season work and get rid of your old one potentially? You're kind of getting an in-season Salah for half price at that point, right? I know you're getting rid of the classic, but that could be an interesting play, I think. Outside of that, then I'm looking at, I know you said Rafinha. I think Yamal's probably missing, isn't he? From that forward options. You've got Verge, you've got the Bells, you've got Vitinha. I mean, it's got to be the Kimmich Musiala from the mids. And then defense, I probably, you've got Hakimi, you've got the best one. I don't know if you probably need a smasher there. Goalkeepers are goalkeepers, aren't they? I don't think we need to do too much there when you've got like the likes of Courtois. I think I'm looking at like an in-season Salah potentially, or an in-season Yamal, whatever way you want to kind of do that, maybe outside of Rafinha. And then it has to be a Musiala or a Kimmich, right? Those are the 4 names that come to mind, 100%. But as far as his results go, yeah, it was a couple of... I don't know how he's doing this week. Okay, he's 17th right now in Prem. I think it was this week, wasn't it? No, 200 this week. In 37. And then I think it was 35. Yeah, look at that. I think it was even more than this in the end. Absolutely smashed it. First in Prem in season, second in La Liga in season, and then third in Champ. I think he actually finished second in this. Or there was something where one of them was changed or something. Yeah, he smashed it, to be fair. Have you noticed Opta assist yesterday? What do you mean, Jonathan? Like the Salah one? Looking at look at Hakimi returns. Oh yeah, I bet he's. Where's Hakimi to? I bet it's in the thousands, isn't it? I bet it's in the thousands. Jesus. He's helped win £5,000 and you bought him for 170 quid. Mental. Absolutely mental. Start of the season he was cheap, wasn't he? Or like cheap in comparison. Like, even though he was smashing at the start as well. It's weird. Really strange. Like his scores have obviously gotten better. Like the 400s in 5 games helps, but he's just been ridiculous, haven't he? Like actually stupid how good he's been. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there, Andres. Yeah, I hope that helps, mate, and I hope your successes continue. Okay, Kuba, just general ideas of where to focus and areas to improve Prem season. Okay, let's do it. All right, for some, I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere, Cam. Oh, really? Semenyo got an assist when he shouldn't have? Is that what you're saying? Salah and Semenyo's second Bournemouth goal passes both took deflections. Yeah, Jonathan, I don't know whether they're being a bit more lenient, mate, these days. With that thing. But I've seen Salah's goal, and yeah, it did take the assist. It took a deflection, didn't it? So I'm quite surprised that they gave that as an assist, and you're saying the same for Semenyo. Yeah, it's weird, mate. Really weird. I've been looking at Kimmich, yeah. I think Kimmich is the safest, if that makes sense. Cartman says, I'm trying to make a budget rep Prem in season. I was wondering if you had any ideas for a good goalie. I mean, I don't know the exact prices of these keepers, but what's like a Matt Sells going for right now with Forest and the way they're playing? I can't imagine he's cheap, but yeah, I can't imagine he's one of the more expensive keepers in the league. Who else is kind of on a bit of a revival right now in the Prem? Like a Palace? Dean Henderson? They give that to Hakimi in the past too. Yeah, it's a weird one, mate. Louis says, do you think the Salah assist can be removed? I would be first. I mean, normally I'd assume they kind of do get removed, those type of assists, because they never in the past been given, So I am quite surprised that exists, honestly. But it's a weird one. The sporting performance the other night, Harry, was very reassuring. Yeah, potentially, Cam, you might have gone at a nice time there. 100%, mate. Okay. Premier season. So you've got the Alisson, you've got the Man City handcuff, which is nice. Van Dijk, Josko, Jed Spence. You probably Kanji as well. You probably maybe a defender or two short there. I would say if you want to field 2 lineups, I think you might be a little bit tight there on defenders. De Bruyne, Silva, Lavia. I mean, your forwards are unbelievable. You got the best forwards you could really ask for. I think you're doing yourself a disservice in not having like a complementary amount of like defenders and mids to kind of go with that choice wise. So I think I'm adding a couple of, I'm maybe adding, a Trent, a Robbo, whatever that is to complement the Van Dijk and Alisson. And then as far as mids go, you've got to be adding a couple more mids in there. Bruno Guimaraes or, excuse me. I don't know, maybe a Morgan Gibbs White potentially. What else? A Foden. There's definitely a couple of mids and defenders I think you need to be looking at there. You've got the best 3 forwards, So give me another mid or 2. Give me another defender probably. Robertson if you want to go cheap and not go Trent. And I think you're in a good position. You're in a very good position. 100%. It's just about getting the game weeks right, getting the matchups right, and going on from there. Okay, Ali. I feel like I'm in a strong position with my gallery. Just any advice on areas to work on. Also, I want to go into rare Prem. However, I think I might wait until next season. Or do you think there's still a point going into it this season? You want to go in season rare? Let's see what you've got already at limited. I know you've got some really good cards. Palmer, Salah, Raya, Rafinha. I don't want to say it's too late to go into the rare side of things, but I just don't think it's worth it, Really. Because to compete, you're going to probably need to have some good cards in there, as we know. And that's not cheap. I don't know, I just think it could be worth just sticking with the limiteds and trying to yield from what you've got already. You've got a really good bunch of players. Like, it's just about getting them in the right lineups and things going for you, right? As it is for all of us. You've got some good cards. Like, there's no... I'm not saying there's no improvements to be made, but there's nothing like... I'm looking at good cards here, and that's the start, right? That's the first thing you need, the part of the equation that you need to win things on this game, win cash and whatever. So I don't know. I just don't think the jump is necessarily Prem rare in season this season. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think it's worth it, because you would need to get some good cards in, and like, it's just not cheap. It's just not cheap. And again, if you've got an unlimited budget, then fine, but you're going to be looking at over like probably $2,000 for like a half decent Prem team, I think, at this age. I just don't know if you're going to be able to yield that back. That's kind of where I'm at there. But you are in a very strong position, Ali. Like, there's not a ton of rare, limited cards that you've kind of not got, which is great. Ian, anyone looking for a contender forward for the second half of the season? Hearts look to be confirming the sign of Kabangu from USG in the next 72 hours. Interesting. Yeah. So I think you're in a good position there, man. I wouldn't jump the gun on the rare stuff though. Personally, I'd probably end up waiting to kind of next season. Okay, Didi, the main man, open to champ super options, be it budget or elite, that would make sense on top of the squads. Might be a bit light on forwards after recently adding a few more goalkeepers. Playing Prem and Bundesliga as priorities may be a route to carve out more wins, so than champ could be. More so than champ could be, sorry. But that could well be dependent on matchups week to week for sure. Okay, let's see what you got going on at Super Rare then. Because I know you've been in the market of supers recently. What have we got up front? I know, you brought in the Vert and Rodrigo, which is not a bad start, is it? Moses Simon, I think, is a sneaky nice one as well. 3 very elite cards there. Thuram, you could argue 4. Cunha 5 if he's not injured. And then you've got a couple of nice little filler options maybe. I mean, it doesn't look too weak to me. How many goalkeepers have you got these days? So we've got Mayeki, 2 Mayekis, Muric, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got 6 starting keepers, okay, across the all of champ. Balerdi, Bowie, Singo, Van der Vens, Akanji, Mendy, Ndogi, Pinnock, Botmans, Anderson. I'd probably argue Ashley Young, okay. I'd probably argue right now, I'd say forwards are stronger than defence, personally. There's some good cards there, but there's not like 6 really good defenders there for me. Midfield, Stiller, Palacios, Højbjerg, Diblin, Weaver, Golovin, Ferdi, Paqueta, Soler, Gubo, Bruno, okay, nice, Kova, yeah. I'd say mids are probably... Man, honestly, I think defenders is where I'd be shopping, I think. And you've got some good options. Akanji, Ndogi, Van der Ven when he's fit, Singo, of course, Salikas, Berardi. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see one like stand out wow, where like up front I see Rodrigo and Vinny, Cunha, wow. And even Thuram maybe, Midfield I go Stiller, Golovin, Bruno. There's at least 3 or 4, if not 5, sort of wow cards there. In defence, I'm just not being wowed, if that makes sense, And that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at with that, to be honest. Now, you said playing Prem and Bundesliga are the priorities. I mean, for Prem, you've obviously got Akanji and Dogi. Like, most of those better defender cards I mentioned are probably Prem, aren't they? Joachim Anderson. So I'd probably focus on Bundes, if that's what you're saying is probably the priority. I think Bundes Super Rares, Defenders. That's where I'm at there, mate. 100%. 100%. Sorry, let me catch up with the chat before I move on to Dear Egan. Kuba had just turned in time as you gave the review. Unreal. I thought forwards I'm pretty stacked goalkeeper wise as well once Edison comes back. So I thought Robertson. Yeah. I get the Trent rumours putting you off, mate. 100%. Does anybody know about the severe goalkeeper situation? Peter's asking. Nyland was starting, got injured and now back, but staying on the bench. Yeah, if anyone can help Peter out in the chat there, that would be greatly appreciated, lads. Okay, what have we got going on for Deegan then? Overall, very happy with my Challenger setup at Limited now, just focusing on maximising my returns. Perfect in season till the end of the year. Also dipped into a bit of rare, mainly Belgium League players. Okay, any advice on areas to work on from your point of view in terms of Challenger itself, or any other ideas would be massively appreciated. No worries at all, mate. Let's see what you've been doing with Challenger, because I know you bought some wicked cards, haven't you, I think? Oh, so you've got some... Yeah, let me have a look at what you got at rare in season Challenger, and we'll go from there. So you got HVC. I mean, I'm an owner of his card, and it's for my sins at this point. He can do pretty well. I mean, the Lason's lovely, the Lange is nice, as is the Roof. What we got here then? Zanka, Sadiki, Smets, Magni's nice, Beste, Ravenge like it, and then you got the Gent boys. Sorry, okay, I like it. Then Donker, Stroikers mid, Hainan, Ito, Gadelman, Magni, I like it again. So if you're going to go what? You've got 3 in-season teams probably, with one being a classic keeper. Okay. I haven't seen any glaringly obvious things yet. Like it's all relatively pretty strong. Dolberg, Max Dean's done his ACL, which is a killer. Ambrose, Tolu's been great. Margat, I'm not too familiar with him to be fair, but his L15 is pretty good, so let's have a look at what he's been up to. Okay. Interesting. Not a bad option. Sonko, Suarez, Dolberg, yeah. I mean, Tolu's obviously the best option there, isn't he, by probably a mile. I do think with the amount of in-season cards you have, I guess the issue is you've got a lot of classic mids, don't you, that you want to use, like a Struikers, for example, which is fine. Like, he'd be part of the gang team, wouldn't he? He'd be like HVC, Smets, you could go Struikers mid with Hainan, and then you could go Tolu. You could have a full gang side there, which is great. But yeah, I definitely think maybe adding a couple of in-season options. Like, I mean, I'm a big Mohamed Cham fan right now. I love my Bilal Brahimi, who's obviously a forward in the Belgium league. Defenders, I'm a big Al Karaouni fan. Obviously not Belgium, Dutch. If Kayembe's like not injured, I think maybe getting a Kayembe in could definitely help your HVC. Have you got a Watanabe? Yeah, you've got Watanabe. Okay. Yeah, you're probably okay for defenders then. It's just mids I'm a little bit worried about. I love Magni, and I like Gadelman as well, and Hainan. I'm not worried, but I'm just like, I think I'd want a couple more options, and same for maybe forwards. Like a Mertens in seat. Like I think we're missing like a big AA capable forward here. Like Tolu has been good, but he's not necessarily AA capable to the point where like we're looking into like the 20s, 20 AA that is. Like maybe like what would be selling Struker's classic? Could you get the in season? What's that turnaround look like? Yeah, he's like nearly triple. Maybe that's not the play, but like Mertens, what's Mertens in season? I don't think it's cheap, but yeah, 72 quid doesn't seem terrible. Something like that maybe open things up for you big time, I would say. Something along those lines, I think, dear Egan. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, mate. And yeah, good luck. Good luck with the Belgium Challenger adventure. So I'll catch up with the chat now. DD the main man. DD is the main man. Belated Xmas gift from me, mate. For what you do for the group. All the best with the delivery coming too. I appreciate that, DD. Did he? No way, DD gifted a ton of members, did he? It hasn't come up on my little mini feed, so I can't really see it, if that makes sense. But I am seeing it in the chat. DD, mate. Just gave out 5 memberships. Wow. Oh, that was on YouTube. I got you. Yeah, that doesn't come into my mini feed. Oh, absolute legend, mate. Gaz has just become a member. Love that. Scamuel as well. One absolute legend, DD. Arthur, what's happening, mate? I just saw your message. BR4 and Bicycle Kick and Brett all became members. Get yourself into the Discord, lads. Courtesy of DD. It should be in the membership tab on now. On the community tab. Sorry, on YouTube. Now that you've become a member. So yeah, massive thank you to you, DD. That means a lot to me, mate. It really, really does. Arnold, what's happening, mate? I'm doing well, thank you, mate. Hope you are as well. Jorgensen starting for Chelsea. Is he really? Oh, I'm selling KM, but don't really rate him, Harry. Interesting. Di Maria. I'm a bit worried about Di Maria, like what happens with him, Kuba said he's picked up Robertson, Bruno G, and Morgan Gibbs White. Nice. Some really nice options for you now, Kuba. You got the forwards. It's just about getting the lineups right, which we'll try and do, of course. BR4 was just on my phone and seeing the note pop up. Love it. Yeah, Jorgensen starting for Chelsea is a bit of a shock, isn't it? I am going to just go to their lineup quickly and see what we got going on. Oh, it hasn't come out yet. I guess it has on Twitter though, is it? Let's have a look. That's crazy. So what happens there then? Like with Sanchez? Chelsea. I spelled Chelsea wrong, didn't I? Chelsea. Enzo captain, Jorgensen, Disasi, Tosin, Colwill. Wow, okay. So that must be Disasi right back. Cucurella, Enzo, Caicedo, Madueke, Palmer, Felix, and Kunku. Wow. So no Gusto, Sancho on the duty, and Jackson on the duty as well. Interesting. Once you play that, could start scoring well as Fran Navarro from Porto. What position is he, Manito? I've heard the name, I just can't put... And also, Manito, what's happening with Ivan Jaime? I really like him, and I saw he came off the bench midweek. Anything happening with him? Arnold's doing all right. I'm glad you're doing all right, mate. I hope you had a nice Christmas if you were celebrating. That's my Chelsea stack out the window. Yeah, that's rough. He's gone on loan to Braga. Interesting. It's just the Christmas rotation. Yeah, fair. But for goalies, yeah, I kind of get it, but I also kind of don't. Of course, I have Sanchez and Nicholas playing. Of course. It's Ipswich. Yeah, fair, Mike. Fair. He's a striker. Fran Navarro. Yeah, I've not really heard too much about him. Like I said, I've heard the name, but let me have a look. Fran Navarro. Okay. Do you think he'll score goals there? Yeah, he's just a typical number 9. It looks like SO5 wise, not a ton of AA. 10 is kind of his peak, which is fine if you can get to 70. It's not the end of the world, but it's not okay. He had 16 AA there. Used to play for Gil Vicente. He looks fine. Okay. My Christmas was pretty good. I'm glad to hear, Arnold. I really, really am. Maresca rotated once before midweek. Yeah. No way Muric bench. Really, Didi? Fuck. Did not expect that. Louis said I have 2 Jorgensens, but I don't think he keeps the job. Probably not. No, Michael, you haven't missed yours, mate. Yeah, we haven't got through them all yet, mate. No worries. I watched Jamie's cameo last night. 3 clear passes and he started doing step over and took a pot shot. Yeah, he's a bit of a showboater, isn't he? I think he's a bit of a showboater. So I'm just messaging a few people. Is Walton playing for who? Kuba? Okay, let me go into gallery reviews. Back to Mben 10. Marky Ben. Just any sale additions, please, mate. Still not winning much considering some of the players I have. Rambard with injuries, but maybe I'm putting them together. No, I don't know. I don't think it's that, Mben. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see what we got. Oh, Walton's the second keeper, is he? Sorry, for Ipswich. Okay. Look at that. There's the price spike. Everyone instant bought him. That's weird though, isn't it? Muric Ben. It's got to be rotation, hasn't it? Anyway. Got the Ryers, got the Becker. Pickford, Edison, Vicario, Moreno. I mean, you've got a ton of options there, really, haven't you? In goal, sorry. Van Dijk, Trent, Gvardiol, Saliba, Gabriel. I think one of the, not the biggest things, but one of the issues I think is like a lot of your good cards are classic, basically, Mark. Like your Saliba, Gabriel, for example. Even Trent. So like you can't get them all in one lineup if we're talking in season. In defence, that is. So I think there's definitely something what I mentioned to Tobe earlier, like kind of converting some of those classic cards you have. I know it's tough if you've got collections, but I do think there's something to be said there. Love the Harry Wilson. Yeah, I do think there's something to be said there. The Salah's amazing. So we've got the Salah, Gordon. I think you're probably strongest up front if we're talking in season cards. I don't think you need to do too much there. But I mean, like Foden, Odegaard, you have good ones. Maddison, like I'm not disputing that. Bruno, I think it's just defense, maybe, mate. I am a bit not worried, but like an in-season Gabriel or something like that. I don't think it changes everything, but it definitely strengthens you for sure in season Saliba, whatever way you want to sort of do it. I know Trent is obviously risk involved, with him moving potentially, but I don't know. I think I'm not saying that's the only reason you're like not winning as much as you'd maybe like. Even like a Raya in season makes a big difference as well. That's something I think there's definitely something to be said about that. Wow, a limited price is flying that much. His floor is £61. Bought him for 28. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there though, Mark. Hope that makes sense, mate. But again, it's just like you said, you have run quite unlucky with the Saka, of course. Doty, would love a few suggestions on how to improve my under 23. If that be consolidate into two lineups or any additions you would recommend. Also have inroads into an in-season with Galaxy and Burnley rare collections. Okay, that's fun. Would you recommend I stick with just those and add to Challenger with individual players? Let's have a look. Let me do Challenger first. Love the collections and stuff you're starting to build though, Doty. Really, really fun. Okay, so you got the Old Trafford, then you bought the in-season like new cards, I'm guessing. For the most part, McCarthy in there. Etienne Green, okay, Delange. Let's go. Egan Riley. Okay, so you've got an in-season Burnley stuff with Trafford obviously being the classic card, which is fine. Humphreys is classic as well, I guess. You can't play him with Trafford unless you're to play in classic. Brownhill has been good, to be fair. So, most stacks don't have like 5 amazing cards in every position. Burnley right now, I wouldn't say have amazing forwards. Like, I like Jaden Anthony if you already have him. Yeah, I've got myself a couple of Anthonys as well. He is good. He hasn't been like unbelievable. Like his AA floor is really good though. Zion Fleming scored a couple of goals as well. Bands is a really nice in-season card to have there, by the way. Yeah, I think I'd be like mixing and match. Like I wouldn't play the whole Burnley stack a lot of the times. Maybe for this midweek you'd probably do it, but like because there's no challenger, you obviously have to play them in All-Star. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe another in-season mid that like isn't Brownhill could be quite nice. Like from I don't know, Belgium or wherever the Challenger League is. A lot of your other cards are classic, which is fine, but obviously you can't use more than one of them in season. Because like if you're gonna play Trafford, you can't have another outfielder basically, right? This classic, so you're gonna need maybe an in-season mid that isn't from Burnley. I think that could really help that out. I'm not saying it's like necessary, but I think that it just helps, right? Like a smasher mid of some sort that plays in challenges, whether that's Dutch or Turkey, or even Belgium. I think that's where I'm at on that one. And then for under 23s, yeah, what you said about condensing potentially. So let's say you play Trafford in Challenger. You've got Lamans, Hadel, Delan. No, because like Hado's out for a bit, so you've only got 2 lineups anyway, really, with Lamans and Delange if they're your 2 under 23 players. Nuno Mendes, Disciple, Barco, love it. Estavier, Smet. I mean, right now you're playing 2 lineups. Like I said, if Trafford doesn't play in Challenger, then obviously you have 3 lineups here. Tillman, love it. Enzo, Baleba, Paxton Aronson. Yeah, if you're playing 2 lineups, I don't think you need much outside of what you've got there in midfield. Up front, Peck, Ekatike, Musa, João Pedro, Mika Tuwezi. Again, I think you've probably got enough to get... Yeah, easy. For 2 lineups, I'd say you've probably got more than enough. But I think my focus would be on, trying to yield from those Burnley collections, basically, for now. And then obviously you've got the Galaxy stuff. You know, obviously they're classic, so you're going to play them in classic when the MLS comes back around. But yeah, I'd maybe add a couple of bits that could go into that Burnley in-season lineup. You know, so it'd be Trafford, which is fine. Then you've got Egan Riley, and you maybe go Colin Roberts, double defence, which is fine. Or Estavier, or whoever's playing. And then, you know, the mid, you can obviously go Brown. I'm not saying Brownhill hasn't been good. Like, he's been really good. But I think it would be quite nice to maybe have some sort of differential in there. Not that everyone's going to be running Burnley stacks, but there is just some good mids. Or even if the forward's in season, you know. I know you've got Banza, which is a good option. Maybe get I've mentioned him already, but a Mohamed Cham to go with Banza could be really useful. I think that could be a really interesting one. So I hope that helps, mate. I'm going to move over to the Discord, to the chat, because I have been neglecting it. João Goncalves from Porto. I think Ivan Jaime will be on loan to a Spanish team. Interesting. We do need more. We do need Rodrigo Mora cards. I think we already have some, but we need more, don't we? Is it good to make a Getafe team for La Liga? They have one of the best defenses in the league. I'd say maybe if you want a defensive stack of them, that could be a good idea. Like the goalkeeper and the defender, like play them together in a lineup. But as far as the midfielder goes, Luis Mia is quite good, so you could probably get away with him. But as far as like the forward goes and maybe the extra player, I think maybe look at other options from other teams, like not Getafe. They don't really score that well. Their defenders score pretty well, but the rest of the lineup doesn't. So a Getafe lineup, like 5 cards from Getafe, it's probably not going to win you too much, if I'm being honest. But 2 or 3 cards from Getafe, the goalie, defender, midfielder, could help a forward and an extra player from a different lineup, a different team that you have. No Jackson's killed my chances of back-to-back under-23 podiums. That is gutting, mate. Already have 3. Yeah, I got killed. DeBas didn't even get off the bench yesterday for Sporting. That absolutely killed me. Absolutely killed me. Sorry. Thirsty. Okay. This is the wrong account as well. How many have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21. Okay. JP. Yeah, I don't know why that didn't come up then. JP 23, I'm pretty sure, isn't it? Have you changed your name, JP? JP, if you're watching, mate, for some reason I can't get into your gallery. JP. Oh, is there a gap? Oh, there we go. I think it's... Yeah, I think this is your gallery, isn't it? I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Any advice on how to improve my rare in-season stuff? Let's go. My rare in-season success in Prem and Champ. Advice on what comps to prioritize. So, I mean, that's like that second part to the question, JP, is always going to depend on the weekend. Like, on that given weekend that's coming up, game week, whatever, you know? Like, if you have only 2 good matchups you're confident in Prem, but you have like 5 in Champ, 5 players that look good in Champ, then play Champ. You know what I mean? Like with those 2 Prem players, move them over to Champ if that makes sense. yeah, like say if you have two good prem say if you have two good prem matchups for your in-season cards, and you have 3 in champ, you might as well just move the prem ones over and have 5 in champ. Is basically what I'm getting at. But let's have a look at what you've got as far as in-season goes. I'm sure you can do this. I'm just gonna have a look at like the in-season cards you have and kind of take it from there. Kelleher, so you got Pope. Dmitrievsky looks like he's probably not going to start again if Mamedashvili's back. You basically got one in-season lineup, like one in-season card there. Philip Cohen's starting right now, actually, so maybe you got 2 for now. Andy Robertson, Ben Sabini, like it. Wan-Bissaka's solid. Shah's solid. Stones is fine. Leif Davis is fine. Stupinan the same, yeah. I think you've got some solid defenders there. I don't think I'd really do too much. Like, they're all like middle of the road, but they all can, score well. They just can. Olmo, Gundogan, Foden, Joe Linton, Norgard, Tyler Adams. Okay. Again, I think we're at a decent standard there. Gordon and Mbeumo, McNeil, Jesus, Cliver, Chukwueze, Thauvin. Man, I think you've got a decent little cohort there. I know you've got unbelievable classic cards, like that goes without saying, but sorry, I need to go all seasons. Honestly, I don't know if I'm doing much more, mate. Honestly, like I don't think there's much more to be kind of done. Like, there's no elite defenders in that in-season lineup, but there's some good ones. Robertson, Ben Sabani, like, they're good cards. You've got the Hakimi, like, you've got the classic cards to fit into these in-season lineups. That's not the question at all. I just think maybe you have too many good classic cards, which becomes a problem. Like, it's not a problem for classic, but if you're using them in season, figuring out which one you want to use every week is tough because, you use Vinny and Rodrigo pops off, or you use Kavicha and Dembele pops off, or whatever. Always going to be the case. I don't know whether, like, I think I mentioned it to you before, but honestly, for me, like, if in season is the goal, like, for the remainder of the season, why not maybe sell out some of these classic cards? I know it's tough to get rid of some of them, but, like, maybe sell out a couple of them that, like, you don't use that often anyway in priority lineups, and move them into like in-season versions maybe, or whatever. I think there's something to be said for that type of strategy. Nathan says Mora has been killing it, to be fair. Sort of a blessing that Vieira is going back to Arsenal. And Zhao says Vieira will be back next game. We was late for training. Wow, was he really? Interesting. Fury, would you take a look at my gallery? It's Fury Sin. If you're part of the members section, I know you're over on Twitch there, Fury Season, but I'm having to prioritize my members right now as far as the galleries I'm looking at. So yeah, I can't necessarily look at your gallery right now, mate, because I've got a ton of members to go through. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, mate. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there, JP. That's kind of where I'm at there. Arthur is up next, though. Okay, Arthur says, have fairly strong contender teams. Should I sell and go into the Liga Prem and Champ? Thinking about the upside in essence, perhaps. Let's have a look. You've got good contender cards. I think you look, well, for me, I know you've got more things to say there. You're saying I feel that I have the best chance at a podium in contender, though. Yeah, that's what I was going to say myself, which would fund going into champ. Do I maybe keep playing contender this season and save? I think that's the play, Arthur. I wouldn't sell your contender stuff right now because I know you have some really sneaky good contender cards, and I just don't think it's worth moving over, if I'm being honest, because the quality of cards you're going to get compared to like what you've got in contender right now compared to what you'd have in champ are not going to be as good because they're just more expensive over there. And I don't think the essence argument is enough of an argument to do that. Like, the reason you have good contender cards is to win money with them. I know essence is still a thing. We have to worry about it, but ultimately, if you're playing in season, you're not playing it for essence. You're playing it for cash. Like, let's just be real. You know what I mean? And the best chance for you to hit those podiums, like you're saying, is contender, mate. So I think that's what I'm doing, to be honest, mate. I think that one's an obvious one. Dave Richards, usual gallery review of the rare side of things. I know you've been adding a ton of cards recently, mate. 171 rares now, flying. And where I would strengthen. Let's see what we've got. So you've got the Jose Sarr. That was a nice little pickup from you because I think he's starting again now, isn't he? Yeah, he's been flying, by the way, hasn't he? For Sealj, Kaminsky. Oh, Padilla, he's going to be a starter, isn't he, in Mexico, I think. Balcom, Andre Blake, De Kaiser. Okay, so you've got a couple of in-season cards now in each region. So I think what I'm going to do is see what in-season cards that you're probably maybe needing. That Phillips, Bueno. If you're going to want to play in-season Chal, I think maybe an in-season defender there is maybe missing. Solomon's a nice one. Solomon's a nice in-season card. Kingisunda. Like, I don't know what... You got Ben Doak, yeah. I'd probably say a defender. Excuse me. Nat Phillips is okay, to be fair. Okay, maybe then a midfielder. An in-season mid. Well, technically, you wouldn't have to be in-season, would he? Because you have De Kaiser. You could go De Kaiser, Nat Phillips, Solomon, Ben Doak, and then whoever you want to pick after that. So, you know what? Maybe I probably wouldn't bother with anything in Champ. Like, I think you've maybe got enough there. You've got Clark and Balcome and Gordon there. Okay. If you want to play in season, I don't see a ton of defenders there. I know you're maybe not looking to play in season. Maybe you are, but yeah. I don't know. Like the Balcome one, I'm guessing you're buying it to field an in-season lineup potentially at some point. And obviously, you don't have a ton of in-season outfielders yet in Contender. I think that would be the next step for that, if that is the goal. I didn't really look over Champ that much, did I? Because, Jose Sa, which is a great one to have. You've got the Vasilj in there. Nico Cucurella. Chilwell, Tariq Mitchell. Yeah, you've probably got enough to have one in-season team there quite easily. Grifo's a lovely reward. Freelo, McGinn. Yeah, you've got more than enough. Jordan James, one of. Love that. Yeah, you've got more than enough there. Harry Wilson as well. Lovely one. And then up front, what have we got in CISO? That's a fun one. Welbeck when he's back, maybe. A couple of really good classic cards. Berenguer's nice as well. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I'd be doing too much here. Outside of maybe, getting some contender in season cards to go with Balcome. I think that's where I'm at there, mate. Up the Murtha. Sorry, let me catch up with the chat. Alex Coombs is up next. Let me catch up with the chat. Cameron says, Sorare taking the piss. One of the wild card L15 or 45 under 23s I want. It's hardly any mints. And only has an instant buy at $29. Wow. That's all good for you, Sin. I didn't expect you to know that, mate. I didn't expect you at all. That's all good. I thought this loan was getting cut short. Yeah, I thought that was the rumour, wasn't it, Nathan? But I don't think it doesn't look like it's true. Footy for life. What's happening, mate? I think Andre Franco has to jump from the team. As in, like, leave the team. I'm going to pop to the toilet a minute, lads. I need a quick wee. And then I'll be back. BRB. Yes, the lads. Sorry about that. Okay. Alex Coombs, the main man. What does Alex want? Usual sort of question for me. Why am I missing pieces to take me from boxes to card/cash? I feel like I have the players to do well on paper, but in a tough spot at the minute. Not hitting much cash. Don't think a full rebuild is needed, but definitely some changes in the Prem. Still quite early for it, but won't be adding to Challenger until MLS cards come out. Sounds good, mate. So it's basically, what do we do in Prem? I think it's the biggest question to be tackled, right? So Leno, fine. Pickford, Flecken, Vicario when he's back. Forster. Okay, so you've got three or four goalies there we can work with. Gabriel, love it. Robinson, Lewis, Romero when he's back. Porro, obviously the Trent. Diaz when he's back. Yeah, you've been quite tough there. You've been sort of hard done by there with a couple of injuries. Leif Davis, still waiting for that to really pop. Like for him, Dragusin, Dan Burn, Veltman. Okay. I think like you probably know, like you've definitely got enough there in defence. Murphy, Gibbs, White, Baleba, Guimaraes, Madison, Foden, Oscar Bob, Mikey Moore, Kova, Papasar, Omari Hutchinson, Pereira. Philogene. I'm hearing Philogene might go to Fenerbahce, by the way. Yeah, I did see that, Marcus. I did see Galesic going to Zagreb, isn't he? Or looks like he is. Good thing I don't support United. Seeing Xerxes and Hoyland with basically no service is going to be comical. So funny. James says, I want to start my gallery again. However, I have no clue how to sell. I mean, do you know how? Like, just put your cards up for sale. Like, check what their lowest prices of the card. Bless me. So, yeah, go to your gallery, find the card, check what his lowest price is right now, and you just put your card up for a bit lower than that, and hopefully it sells. That's kind of the only way to really do it. You can obviously, but you can go to a bot maybe. Like, there's bots on Sorare that will like take your card sometimes or swap your card, but it's a bit not complicated. But I wouldn't really go down that route. Footy for life. I know it's a bit late, but how was your Christmas? It was lovely, mate. It was really, really nice. Thank you. It was really, really nice. I hope yours was as well. It was really nice. Quiet, peaceful, but yeah, really enjoyed it. Didn't eat as much as I imagined I would, which I'm happy about. I don't need to be putting on any more extra timber, but yeah, it was fun, mate. It was really, really nice. I hope yours was as well. But yeah, as far as mids go here, Al, the top line's probably enough, isn't it? The only gripe I have is there's an in-season Gibbs White help, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe not like a necessity, is it? Saka getting injured is a killer, isn't it, for these Prem lineups right now? Savio looks to be coming into a lot of form. It will be Kulu. Yeah, I mean Son hasn't been great. Brennan. Again, I think you probably know it. Yeah, you've probably got enough, mate. Like I do think you do have enough. I did see that many too. Yeah, Fabio Cannavaro's been appointed, hasn't he, as new manager? Yeah, you're right, mate. There's no full rebuild needed. There's almost maybe not even any additions needed. We've mentioned Isak already. Isak's the one right now, isn't he, in the Prem? He feels like the forward outside of Salah. A classic Salah, maybe, Al. I know that's not cheap, but that's the problem with the Prem. Unless you have one of the two, the Palmer, the Salah, the Isak, unless you have the forward that's popping off right now, or at least one of them, it's just not easy. The game's just not easy if you don't have those cards that are in form, that's just the problem. I'm not saying you can't do well without them, but it just puts you up against it, as you know. So yeah, that's where I'm at, mate. I think that's the differential right now between your gallery and maybe a better gallery is they've got the Palmer, they've got the Salah, and unfortunately you've been left with the Saka, which is in that, he is in that category. He's just fucking injured. It's just unlucky, it is. And then you've got Son, who should be in that category, but again, fucking missing pens. That's just the luck. You're just not getting the luck of the green. I would probably sort of describe it as there, mate. So it's one of them where can you afford to get one of those three forwards that I mentioned? If not, then we just have to dig in and try and make what you've got work, which is good cards. You've got good cards. Very good cards. But it makes it easier when you have a Salah, doesn't it? It makes it easier when you have an Isak. Like, that's just the brutality of it, mate. So, and I know you know that, but that's, yeah. It's just nice to sort of, yeah, maybe it be heard. We'll move on to Shamrock, just catching up. If you were to start with £200, what tips would you give? Would you go into season EPL? In-season EPL? Probably, Jack. I don't know. I don't know if 200 quid really gets you, like, probably what you want. You know, like, you couldn't get the best lineup for 200 quid, which is okay, but I think I'd probably go into... It depends what line, like, it depends what you know best in that sense. Like, if you know Prem best, then, like, it is probably best to go into the Prem. But you kind of handicap with 200 quid, I think. I don't play in-season limited Prem, so I couldn't tell you exactly. But if Isak's in-season card's like 40 quid, you could probably get, like, one good lineup from the Prem. Maybe two if you're lucky. You know, if you're buying good guys. Marcus says, I would sell all these talented guys like Bob, Bergvall, Gray. I think the only reason he has them, Marcus, is for collection bonus. But I do agree with, you know, like what you're saying. But it's also quite hard to get rid of those cards if they're, you know, part of the collection bonus and stuff. Because they do make Maddison better. They make Son better. They make, you know, Dragushan. Well, no one can make Dragushan better. You know, Romero, Porro. That's the issue. Arthur says, thank you, Harry. The reason I play in season is to win cash. 100%. 100%, Arthur. So yeah, it's tough, James. Like, I don't want to tell you to go into a competition that you don't know. Like, if you don't know Serie A, if you don't know Bundesliga or La Liga, then it's very hard to get to know it really quickly and spend 200 quid in it, you know? If you already do know those leagues, I think I like Champion season personally, but I have a decent knowledge of, you know, Champion, like the top 5 leagues. You can obviously play Prem cards in there, but whereas if you're just playing Prem only, I don't know if 200 quid really gets you, like, it'll get you one probably good lineup, and if you're okay with that, then fine. That could definitely work as well. I don't know if any of that made sense, mate, and I'm sorry if it didn't. AG said, recently made a big investment into Bundesliga in season. Apart from that, have an okay Prem Classic team and a bunch of cheap Challenger cards that aren't very good. Would mostly be interested in just hearing your opinion on my Bundesliga players and Premier League too, if you can get to them. Sounds good, mate? Yeah, fair play. AG, I know you went into Bundesliga, didn't you? Don't think I'll be making any more purchases until MLS. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Okay, Hideki Trap. No, sorry. 3 good in-season keepers. Shambo, Upa, Benzabaini, Schlotterbeck, Orban. Let me go to floor high to low. Bischoff, Amiri, Jae-Sung Lee, Rainer Prass. Forwards, Mamouche, Gittins, Dux. Okay, so what I'm looking at here, I think you've got enough forwards to get by. I think you're short on maybe 2 mids of some sort. Now, the beauty of what you've got going on here, AG is, I know you said you don't really want to put anything in, which I get, but like, you could afford to buy some classic cards because you have all in season. You know, you could play an in season, a classic card in one of the 3 lineups that you put out here, which helps with price. Obviously, I know you said you don't necessarily want to buy anything, but I think you've got enough to get by. I just think a little bit more choice maybe in midfield, like outside of these 3. Kind of struggling, aren't we? Schaffer's been decent. Rainer's sort of maybe coming back. Prass can be okay, but, you know, if... I don't know, I just think that extra position probably let you down is probably what I'm kind of getting at. I think in defence you've probably got enough. Yeah, I don't know, I just think maybe a couple of like classic smashes is, you know, the cliche, but that's probably, you know, where my mind goes there. So I know you've got the Fulham stuff, haven't you? I know you've got, Robbo, Robertson and Anderson. Really decent 3, especially if you're only playing one lineup. Like, for me, I'd probably sell this Elliot Anderson, personally. Sell this Elliot Anderson and go get some classic Bundesliga cards that are, like, good cards that can fit into your in-season stuff. There's no need to have that in-season Anderson here for me. I think you've got to get rid of that. And maybe even the Callum Hudson-Odoi. Like, if you're only playing classic, just go Leno, Robertson and Robinson, Kudus, and Bowen. You know, just run that, and it's a fine enough lineup. It's not amazing, but you know that. I think I would get out of those in-season Forest cards and go buy yourself some good classic Bundesliga cards. Like, what does Grimaldo cost in classic? 19 quid. They almost get you a Grimaldo classic, you know? And that could be the difference between, you know, a decent reward or no reward and a decent reward. I think that's where my mind goes, mate. So all the best with that. Dembois, Dennis. Let's go to the under-23 recently and focus more on challenger and contender in season. Need some direction on where to focus now. Is it SPFL inflated right now? Other contender cards or challenger? Let's have a look, mate. Let's have a look. So I know you've been buying a decent amount recently, haven't you? Unistal, Robin Roofs. Let's have a look at goalies. 3 in seasons at least, plus the classics. That looks fine to me. Bart Van Rouge, I like it. El Karauni. Salah, Verdonk. Okay, you got a nice coat. Yeah, nice bunch of Eredivisie cards there. Paxton, Timber, McGlynn, Rusnak, Klassen, Luna, Zidane Ekbal. Some decent mids for sure. Kathleen Rodriguez, I like that. Andre Blake, Hansen. Yeah, some good in-season cards there. I don't think I'd really do too much to that Challenger stuff, mate, to be honest. I think Challengers probably takes care of itself. Walton, Mitov, Smith, and Ray. Oh, you basically got every SPFL keeper outside of the Celtic boys. Cameron Carter Vickers. Okay. I think what I would do here for contender, I think I would focus on a couple of Bundesliga 2 smashers. Like there's so many good cards in Bundesliga 2. That could be quite useful for those SPFL lineups that you have. If I go contenders, Bundesliga 2, I'm just going to sort of point out a couple of these and we'll like Van Izek, for example, 8 quid. Muhim's been class. I don't know much about this guy, but Mohamed El Kanuri looks to be a very good player for Magdeburg. This Johansson's a very good player, takes set pieces. Cuisance has gone off it a little bit recently. Karaman's always been good. I love Kasper Janda. I really, really like him. Set piece taker for Nuremberg. John Joe Kenny's been good for a while. You know, I just think Leopold's really good. Like, there's just a lot of cards. Julian Green. There's some good cards in here that I think could make for some good additions to that, you know, the contender stuff that you've got. Alex says, cheers for the review, mate. It's so infuriating seeing the cards. I have not hitting the cat, or when you're not hitting that cash. When I picked up Saka, I was torn between him and Palmer, so feels about right now that Saka's injured. Mate, that's just, yeah, the amount of times that's happened to me, mate, is ridiculous. You know, it happens far too many times. It's tough, mate. Yes, injuries are fucking killer, especially when it's like your star boy, you know. And there's nothing we can do, and it's just one of them where you just got to, you know, you do have to try your best to absorb it. But it's a killer, mate. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not nice at all. So I do feel for you. I really, really do, because fucking it sucks. But yeah, like, again, we just got you got to keep. You know, you don't have to keep going, but you know what I mean. Like, you just got to dig in and try. And try and make work what you have. If you can't put anything in, that's fine. Like, you've got good cards. We'll just have to deal with the situation we've kind of got in front of us. So yeah, not ideal. But yeah, as far as Dennis goes, I think that makes a bit of sense. Shvarko says, "Screw gallery review, mate. Enjoy those days. With my first one, I was drunk. They took my wife to the hospital and stayed drunk for the next 7 days. Don't do that. Ignore everything and be there for you and your wife. It's going to be the best day of your life." I appreciate that, Shafarkle. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I am expecting my first child, or my wife is expecting our first child in the next day or so. So yeah, it's probably the last stream before becoming a father, which is mad to say. But yeah, that was what Shafarkle was, one of my members was referring to there. But anyway, Nikolai is up next. Nikolai, hey Harry, how are you? Hope everything's going well and delivery went well. We're not there yet, but hopefully it does go well. Nikolai, I appreciate you. When I started 2 months ago, I scattered my purchases a bit everywhere. Now I decided to focus more on contender and challenger, and I'm selling all my champ stuff. I don't have much. Sounds good, mate. I like the sound of that. I feel like I have decent players in both competitions, even though I have no stars. Fine. I'm a bit scared of the South America, North America, Japanese, Korean leagues starting back up, as I feel the old players will have more experience in those leagues. And it seems that once started those, playing the European leagues is basically useless, as I feel the old player, as the top scorers are always coming from those leagues. Am I correct? And if so, what would you suggest me to do? I wouldn't say it's necessarily for contenders. Like, I know there's, okay. As far as MLS goes, yeah, that is correct. Like, in Challenger, the defenders don't score that well, and neither do the goalies. It's all about the midfielders and forwards. So, yeah, you are correct in that statement. MLS midfielders and forwards are elite as it comes, and there's a lot of them. So, without them, it does become tough. I'm not going to dispute that. As far as the Japanese, Korean stuff goes, like, I know you've got, like, your Cecinias, who obviously plays in the K-League and stuff. Like, there is that, like, smash element, and okay, you have China as well, which doesn't help. Like, there's some massive cards in in China, but don't forget, those Chinese cards aren't in season. So players can only have one of them, if you're playing in season, that is. Which I know you're playing in season challenges here, I can see. I'll just have a look through what you've actually got. So Lamens, Israel, Roof, okay, you've got all the best sort of goalkeepers you'd want from the European Challenger stuff. Same for the defenders. I can't fault anything that's going on there. Midfielders, Vanaken, Brownhill, Zorgan. Yeah, again, Cham, love it. Yeah, you've got all the type of forward mids that I really like. Oshiman, Tolu, Jimenez, Galeno, Pavlidis, Banza, love it. Your Chal stuff's perfect. Like, that type of Chal setup could compete with, when the MLS comes back. I'm not saying it's going to be better than when the MLS comes back, because you're going to have your Messis and stuff, and it's not easy, but the quality of cards you've got there are good enough to compete. Like, you're in the realm. Whereas for contender, like, I'm looking at what you got here, goalies are fine. Like, there's nothing unbelievable. Like, there's no Schmeichel, whatever. You got the Dundee boys. You got Halstenberg. Okay, nice. Mathiassen's been pretty good recently, hasn't he? Affengrubber. Yeah, you'd probably need to sort of improve the defense, I would say, there for contenders. Gluch, Leopold, Devlin, Kitashvili, McGrath, Connor Barron. Yeah, like, there's some good cards here, but they're not, like you said, once the other leagues come back, it does sort of not render them useless, but it does make them weaker, for sure. Levarge's a good one to have. Benetraore. Yeah, I'd say there's... Cherney in season's nice. I definitely think there's there's room to improve the contender stuff. I think the challenger stuff's okay, genuinely. Like, I do. But I think the contender stuff could get a bit better. We mentioned Bundesliga 2, which is playing, or will be coming back in the next week or couple of weeks. There's a lot of good cards in Bundesliga 2 that you could be looking at, I think, that would strengthen what you have going on here. You're always up against it when you're playing against your Celtics. When Zenit come back, but you can only have one Zenit card in an in-season lineup because they're not in season, of course. So, you're a bit protected. Contender's weird. Laird mentions this all the time. Let me just explain this. Contender's a weird region, because the in-season game is so different to the classic game. Because in the classic game, you've got all the Zenit cards, all the China cards, and none of those. Only one of those cards can go over and play in season, because you can only have one classic in season, right? So, like, the in-season game in contenders is so different to the classic version. And if you, like I said, if you're playing the in-season version, you're a little bit protected. But you can also add in one of those classic cards, like a Cecinia, for example. I can't imagine he's expensive. Cecinia is like £4 he's going to be classic, but like £4 for the classic, I know he wasn't great towards the end, but like, those scores are ridiculous. I know you can't see them that well there, but scores are ridiculous. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that, mate. You are kind of right in what you're saying, for sure. But I also think that you've got good cards already. I think that there's an element of improving the contender stuff for me. Whether that is with a couple of these classic smashers, your Cecinias, for example, some players from Zenit. Tough to get hold of them ones, though. But like Wendell, you've got Wendell from Zenit. Does he have any limit? He does have, £10 for the classic. He wasn't actually that good towards the end. But like Douglas Santos is an absolute monster. he's the one really that you probably want from Zenit. But again, I can't imagine he's cheap. Well, maybe 20 quid. Yeah, he's not cheap necessarily, but ridiculous scorer. Like, he's basically Hakimi in contender. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on that, mate. Nikolai, any more help that you need? Obviously, I'm always available, apart from maybe these next few days while my wife gives birth. But we're going to move on to Big Baz Barrett, Lukey Barnett. Barrett, sorry. First year I wanted to get involved in MLS, watching as well as playing Sorare. Want to play into 23 where I picked up the shell of a team. How would you strengthen? Then want to buy an in-season limited team. What classic card should I add? Messi. Okay, let's have a look, mate. Let's have a look, pal. Under 23. Rare. What have we got going on here then? So I'm just double checking. Want to play. Let's see what you got. So Padilla's going to start, isn't he, in Mexico? Shinton starts now, which is fine. So you've got a goalkeeper and a half basically there, it feels like. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I need to get my filters back up and running. Shallen, no, under 23s. Right. Also, Baz, I have a bone to pick with you. Not a bone, I'm only messing. But I remember one of the last game weeks, I think you bought Mohamed Cham in Super Rare, didn't you? And where's it to? Yeah, this Cham. And I ended up buying a different midfielder. I was actually after the in-season Cham, but I wouldn't have minded getting this one in, and I would have played, a different in-season card in the lineup. And if I had bought the Cham and captained him like I was going to do, and not captained another guy that I ended up buying, I would have won Challenger in season that week. So yeah, you stole my Cham off me basically, mate. I'm only playing. Thank you, Andreas. I really appreciate that, mate. Wooly, Barco. Yeah, there's another two names. Those are another two names there, Zhao. How do you think Bowen is a prize winning forward? He is if West Ham are like scoring goals, right? If West Ham are scoring goals, Bowen's involved. But the issue is they're not scoring that many goals, mate, are they? That's the issue. That's where I'm kind of worried about saying yes to that statement. I love Bowen. I think he's a great football player, but in this struggling team, it's hard to get behind him, mate, to be honest. No, I am only playing because let me show you the lineup. I ended up buying an in-season card, so I would have had to have bought the in-season Cham anyway to like replicate exactly what I did. So in theory, I am actually, was it 35? No, I'm not. Was it further than this? Wasn't this far back, was it? It can't be this far back. Maybe though. Nah, surely not. It wasn't last game week. 37? Oh, it's because I've hidden all my lineups. I'm a donut, that's why. Yeah, it was this one. It was this lineup. So I had 100 from Eunice. I had 85, from Brown. And I bought this Brian de Kuzmaika before the game week because I didn't get Cham. And yeah, it killed me basically. But if I had bought the classic Cham, the one that Baz bought, I could have obviously played him here, but I couldn't have played Al Karauni. I would have had to have played one of my in-season defenders, which would have been, let's say, what's his name? It would have probably been... It probably wouldn't have been Zanka. I would have played my Tommy St. Jago, who didn't score that well either. But like that score is basically the same as Al Karauni, whereas Cham massively outscored this guy. And I lied. I wouldn't have won it, but I would have been in the cash basically. But it's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world at all, Baz. Let me get back to these under 23 stuff. Gomez, Timber, Davis. Okay. Yeah, you've got some players here, mate. You've got a lot of depth there. Engels, Curtis Jones, Elliot Anderson. Emil Smith-Rowe, Zetner. Yeah, mate. Cham again. Yeah, you've got more than enough. I'd argue you'd probably need more keepers if you want to play a couple of lineups here, because Van der Voort's not a solid starter. Shinton is the only one there outside of Siwa, who obviously plays in the MLS. I'd probably argue there's another goalkeeper to be sort of had there. And then you said you want to buy an in-season limited team. What classic card should I add? Yeah, if we're talking MLS, it's got to be Messi. It's got to be Messi, mate, all day long. All day long. Okay, next up is K-Flow. I have filled out my gallery with in-season cards, mainly through Prem, Bundesliga, Challenger, and Champ, and have yet seen a great deal of return on these cards. Lately, I have been contemplating swapping into in-season rare only instead of playing in-season limited across every comp and waiting for the big win. Currently winning £10 every few weekends, but nothing too much. Gallery's worth about 1,100 with at the minute. What's your thoughts on this? Let's have a look. Footy says, am I watching the Chelsea game? Yeah, I'll definitely try and watch it if I get off streaming time. What time's it start? In an hour from now? Is it an hour from now? Let's have a look. No, it's not. It's in 15 minutes. No, I might catch the second half. I'll have too many gallery reviews to do, to be fair. Wow, Enciso starts again for Brighton. Mental. I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. Maybe he's back, by the way. I'm really shocked at that, Really, really shocked. But no, I might catch the second half, to be fair. Will the Barker in season eligibility run out? Yeah, it will, Marcus, yeah. He's not in season anymore. Okay, K-Flow. Let's have a look what we got going on here. To me, without sort of diving into it too in-depthly right now, I reckon you're playing too many regions. As in, I think you've probably just got too much going on. Basically, spread too thin is the easiest way for me to describe it. I'm just looking at the Chal stuff. You've got good Chal cards. I can't dispute that. I am Alexander. Yeah, I am only checking members galleries right now. You talk about Enciso with later, now he starts back to back. It's almost like I run that Brighton team remotely. Only messing. My worry is, K-Flow, I think you just spread too thin. You do have good cards in Challenger there before me even looking at Champ, because I know you've got good Champ cards as well. I just think it's hard to be good at every region. I really do. Again, you've got good cards, Johansson, Raskin. You just need so much to go for you though to have a really big win. Let me see what you got in Champ, because my feeling is I think you should just completely condense to Champ / Prem, Bundes, whatever. Just the Champ side of things. Champ, Bundes, Prem, and whatever else. If you want to play those. I think the proceeds from, setting up challenges and contenders will help you buy a few smashers to get stuck into some of these players, because you've got some really good players. You just don't have any elite players. Overall, there's some wicked players here. Burshoff, Gibbs White. You've got players who are playing really well this season. Golovin, whatever. But as far as the Kimmiches go and the Musiala, it is. I'm not saying you can't win without them, but it just makes things easier if you do have some of them sprinkled in, And I think that's what I'd be doing, mate. I think I'd sell up the challenges and contenders, or whatever way you want to do it. But let's just argue you want to play Champ more than the other two. I really do think selling up the other sides of things could be beneficial in the way that you want to have that one big, whatever, how many big wins that is, more the merrier, But I really think that's the only route that you're going to see that sort of bigger win, is when you're more condensed into one region and you've got more chance every week that the lineups and matchups are in your favour. And I just think you're just a bit too spread out now. Your challenger cards are good, But selling those cards with the contender cards would make your champ cards way better, and that's where the most money is in this game right now. So that's my feelings on it. That's my honest feelings. Let me know what you think. Tobe, what's happening, mate? It's going well, thank you, Tobe. I'm enjoying the stream. 2 hours and 20 in. We're doing well. We had a look at your gallery earlier, which is fun. I think you were there. I think you were there over on Twitch, maybe, or maybe I was imagining that. But yeah, hope your day is equally as well, mate, or maybe even better. And we're going to move over to Jolan. Jolan, I focused on improving my champ/prem side last week. Sorry. Would you say I have to improve it more or move elsewhere? Like make my first in season rare. Are there any players you would suggest getting? Let's have a look what we got going on. You improved your champ/prem stuff. Are we done improving? Let's have a look. David Raya, Verbruggen, Pickford sells. 2 in season. Ryan sells out of season. Okay. Robinson, Gabriel, Saliba, Robinson, Timber, Calafiori, Branthwaite, Nico Munoz. Nico Williams is flying, by the way. Lewis Dunk. Yeah, I think you've got enough to get by there in defence. Odegaard, Rice, Caicedo, Havertz, Gravenberch, Bruno. Yeah, more than enough in midfield. Saka's a tough one, but you've got the Isak, Rodgers, Martinelli, Iwobi. Ooh, I'm a little bit worried. Well, I don't know. I love Rodgers, and Iwobi has been good. So you've got, like, for me, Isak, Rodgers, Iwobi that you could, like, rely on. Yeah, okay, you've probably got enough. I was going to say, like, one other forward maybe being really picky with Saka not being fit. But I think you've just about got enough. So, yeah, I could probably get away with that, to be honest, mate. Let me see what you've got in champs. You've got the Meret. So Meret's the main goalkeeper there. Schlotterbeck, love that. Theo Hernandez. You got the Giovanni Di Lorenzo old season. Okay. Why is that? That's not working. That's weird. What we got in midfield? Xhaka. Xhaka's the main one there, isn't he? Yeah, but if you're only running one lineup, it's more than okay. Luis Enrique. I'd probably say you're a little bit... you got Openda, but you're probably a little bit light on an in-season forward. Like, Enrique is good. I'm not going to dispute that, but... Is he uber reliable? Would it be nice to have maybe another option? Maybe. Openda is a great option, but of course he's classic, so it makes it a little bit tough. Yeah. As far as champ goes, that's probably the only improvements I would say would probably need to be made immediately. And if we're talking rare cards, I know you have quite a lot of Belgium cards, don't you? So you've got the 2 goalkeepers, old season, Foolan, Sekwe. I mean, you've got enough to play classic right now, which I know you have been doing. I mean, is it worth maybe you've got Lamans in season? You'd only have to buy 2 or 3 or 4 in season cards there, or maybe even 2 or 3 actually. With when Foolan's back, and then if Sekwe can starting, I don't think he will he? But he started last game, of course. I don't know, like. Hainan's pretty cheap in season. Even like Shufs is like buying the cards you already have in classic in season is never like a terrible move because you know those cards very well. And yeah, sometimes the price differences on the in season and classic isn't that terrible. So yeah, I think that could be the plan of action, mate. But yeah, definitely a champ forward is probably the main sort of issue. Let me just catch up with the chat. I thought I saw you on your Twitch account, but maybe I got it wrong. West Ham news, what's happening, mate? Michael Pallett said he's in the same situation. Yeah, a lot of people are, mate. A lot of people are. I get it. I definitely get it. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to do Da Wizzy. Norwegian GK. I have things all over the place. Can you see what I should focus on and what I should abandon? Let's have a look, mate. Let's have a look. Let's see where your best cards are. Let's see where your best cards are. Sego. That's actually a tough one. So you're very 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 correct in saying that you are just far too spread thin, and I couldn't even tell you really where your strongest like set of players are. In all honesty, like if you go to Challenger, you've got Schrendler, which good player. 2 in-season defenders, yeah, okay, fair. Your Challenger stuff's okay. Like it's not amazing, but there's a lineup there. I can't really fault that. Over here you've got 3 starting keepers, which is fair enough. You've got a load of defenders. Obviously you haven't revealed the pictures, which is what it's fine. Probably a bit light on forwards, aren't you? If you there's no point having 3 starting keepers if you've only got 1 starting forward, basically. And he's playing obviously Croatian, so he's not playing for a few months or a month or so. It depends what region you enjoy most. Like that, it's hard for me to say. You've got Bauman, Tar, Suazo, Petois, Weigel. It's tough, mate. Like it's actually really tough to say. Well, that's an obvious one. You need a better champ forward there. You need a better champ forward, and you need a couple more contender forwards as well. If you're going to keep, I know you're not going to have 3 lineups right now because Malencia is not playing for a little while. With the break, but you've got enough mids and defenders. You just don't have enough forwards, so. But yeah, do you need to play all 3? It's fun from I can imagine if I was starting again, I'd want to play as many as I can, and then I'd end up finding out that I'm spread too thin, and I'll get annoyed at myself that I'm not winning as much as I'd want to, and it's a tough one. But I think that's one of the biggest things that people get wrong starting on this game, and I fell victim to it as well. Is you get too excited, you get too card happy. And you just start buying cards from all sorts of regions, and it doesn't actually create a team. You're just buying single things, and you're not really buying any defensive stacks, or you're not targeting these fixtures, and that comes with, obviously understanding the game over time, which is not easy to do. But I just don't know if you need to play all 3. I think chopping off one of them wouldn't be the worst decision in the world. And that just has to come down to, which region you enjoy and have more knowledge in. That's just what it comes down to for me, Norwegian GK. It really, really does. It all comes down to that. Okay, Nilo Padillo, or Big Niels. I play Challenger and currently have two Division 1 lineups in season and a Division 2 lineup in season. Do I miss any key players? Don't know if I need Boscagli, also because he probably leaves after the season for sure. And what position do I need to improve on? I think my gallery currently needs more quality or quantity. Thank you very much, Harry. No worries at all, mate. Let's have a look. I'll catch up with the chat now. Let me catch up with the chat. Harry, you're a goat. Keep up the great work. I'm going to head out and watch the Chelsea game. No worries at all, mate. Thank you so much for spending the last 2.5 hours with us. And yeah, you're the GOAT, mate. You're the GOAT, not me. You are. Enjoy the Chelsea game, mate, and I'll catch you soon. If we've not left a like on the stream, lads, please do so. It does mean a lot to me. And I don't know how many likes we're on. I'm going to check on YouTube right now and see. What are we on? On 35 likes. Okay, we're doing pretty well, to be fair, for the likes. We are doing pretty well. So I've been knocked out of a... Yeah, I've been knocked out of the cash in Champ D1, which is fine. Bless me. Ooh. Okay. Let's look at what Nico's got going on. So Challenger, Trubin, Lamons, and Polo Mignolet. You've got all the goalies you'd probably want there as far as quality goes. Arajo, Disciple, Caceres, Hanko, Wagner, Michele. Again, not really seeing too many that you're really missing there. Again, as far as quality goes. Vanaken, Puig, Zorgan, Juan, Hainan, Jashari, Sara, Haspalat, like it. Nielsen, Barrero. Again, you've probably got enough. I can't really argue it. If you're putting out 3 lineups, Ciolis, Pacquiao, Di Maria, Stru, your forwards are really strong. Mate, there's not much you can really do there. Like I'm big on Mohamed Cham right now. I'm a big fan of his. Maybe adding him in there. Helps things as far as Turkey goes. Maybe a Tadic, an in-season mid Tadic could help. But yeah, there's not really a ton you can really do. I don't think there's a ton you can honestly do outside of what you've got in Chal already. Like you said, yeah, maybe there's a lack of PSV in there. You could argue a bit of PSV exposure wouldn't be harmful. Whether that's Tillman, whether that's Veerman. I know Buscagli's got a lot of links and worry around him. Maybe a Flamingo. Like, those things will help. I'm not going to dispute that. So, maybe picking a couple of those up wouldn't be a miss. But that's the only thing I can really see. You've got the forward Tadic, to be fair. Sorry, you do have the forward Tadic, so yeah, you probably don't need the mid necessarily. But yeah, mate, there's just not a ton else outside of that, if I'm being honest. Hucker says, from watching other galleries, I've also realised what work and improvements I need. With all honesty, you have made me switch from under 23 to in season. Oh, you're following the road to glory. I love it. Anyone wanting Buscagli? One has been listed £5 under the floor. Wow. Petrix. The gallery reviews are for YouTube members. So if you become a YouTube member of my channel, I think it's £1 a week or £4 a month. You get a private Discord. You get gallery reviews every month. Obviously, you get one today. And and I build your lineup every week as well. So that's my pitch, and that is how you get a gallery review. Okay, next up is GD98. Let's have a look. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. GD98, going to be getting involved in MLS. Is there key players you would recommend? I would be able to pick up the premium players. Also, who is the best to follow or best place to find info on signing teams selection for MLS? Also, who's the best to follow or best place to find info on sign-ins, team selections for MLS? Finally, not really hit any big wins with Premier season. Any players that might help? I'll have a look now, mate. As far as the help goes, so always check out... He does them on Predictify. So Predictify obviously helps out mine and Quinny's, or the deadline show that we do every Friday. But Sorare is the one that does the MLS lineups. So make sure you're following Sorare. He's putting out a like an MLS transfers sort of recap every day right now, which is really, really helpful. So yeah, definitely follow him. But Tom Bogart, isn't it? Tom Bogart, this guy. He's a writer for the MLS and stuff. He always breaks the big news coming out of the MLS and stuff. So make sure you're following him. But yeah, Predictify, Sorare and Tom Bogart are the ones that I'd be getting involved in there. But then as far as like the players to pick up, then yeah, you've got to be looking at Messi. You've got to be looking at whoever stays into Miami. If that's Suarez, if that's Jordi Alba. Obviously, if Cucho Hernandez, that is from Columbus Crew. You've got Buanga. You've got Benteke is a decent option. If Lucho Acosta stays at Cincinnati, I think he'll be great again. Kevin Denke's just signed for Cincinnati, so keep an eye on Kevin Denke. Luca Oriano, who plays for Cincinnati as well, absolute baller. Keep an eye on him. I don't really love the goalkeepers and defenders from the MLS in general, outside of maybe Alba. I hate Calendar though, the Inter Miami keeper. The Charlotte FC keeper is really, really good. Kalina, very, very good keeper. But there's not a ton of amazing keepers in the MLS, really. He's probably the best one, I would say. And then as far as Prem goes for you, mate, what have we got going on here then? So Onana, Sarr, Martinez, Sanchez, Verbruggen. You've got the defenders, haven't you? The goalkeepers there. Guardiola, Romero, Diaz. Yeah, you've got good defenders. The issue is none of these are actually scoring amazingly well right now. Obviously, Diaz is injured. Romero's injured. Guardiola hasn't been scoring very well. So all your best defenders, for whatever reason, aren't scoring that well right now, which is obviously going to cost you, not winning big prizes, which is just not ideal. Foden, Gibbs, White, Bruno, Kudus, Tielemans. Your mids are solid. Your mids are fine. Saka's injured as well. So your best forward and 2 out of your best defenders are injured as well. That is why you're not winning right now. That's just the brutality of it. Gakpo, Watkins, Rogers, Doku, and Johnson though, and even Kulu and Isak. Jesus, you've got the forwards. I can't argue with the forwards. Oh, and you've got Havertz down here as well, and Caicedo. I didn't see those. And then who have you got down here? Well, you've got Saliba, to be fair. So you've got Saliba, Gvardiol, and then, yeah. You just got to wait for those 2 to come back, I think. And I think you'll be in a much better position. The Saka one's going to be a bit more long-term, but I don't think you're not a million miles off winning something good here. It's just things have to fall for you, You've got to get luck on your side. You've got to get the matchups on your side, and obviously that will help you. But I wouldn't necessarily dive into anything here, honestly, GD. I really, really wouldn't. As far as buying more Prem cards. Nathan says, feeling very strong with Prem and under 23, which are my main comms. If I could get a view on both of them, would be great. Also looking for card recommendations to add to what I already have. Also still debating if I want to build another comp, but I'll let you decide that. Rewards are slowly coming in for me now and seeing a return. Keep up the great work. I appreciate you, Nath. Okay, so Prem. Let's see what you got going on in Prem. Pickford, yeah. Goalkeepers are more than fine. Gabriel, Josko, Saliba, Robertson, Timber, Kirkers, Gusto, Murillo's been really good, hasn't he? Porro, Milenkovic, Lacroix's been good. Yeah, you've got more than enough, mate. More than enough quality here, Jesus. More than enough in defence. Bruno, Caicedo, Grav, Elliot Anderson, Curtis Jones, Kudus, Baleba, some of the Fulham guys. I don't think your mids are unbelievable. There's some really good ones there, but I don't think they're incredible. But they're definitely solid enough. Palmer, Salah, Isak, your forwards are ridiculous. Forwards can't really get much better, to be honest. Mids is only where I'm a bit is there somebody that are we missing? Not missing, but is there someone else that could potentially be in contention here? Let's have a look. An Enzo maybe. I know you've got Caicedo already, haven't you? An Enzo, a Rice. Foden, Gibbs, White, Bruno Guimaraes. Have you got Bruno? No. You're missing a couple of those better mids. These are the highest L15 mids right now. Well, L5, sorry, and yeah, they're not in your gallery. So maybe adding one of those 4 potentially, a Enzo, Rice, Foden, Gibbs, White are kind of the 4 names that sort of pop out to me there. But I don't think it's it's not glaringly obvious, but it's definitely something that maybe needs slightly improving. If we're going under 23, Trafford, Obed, Lamons, Dakovic, okay. Gvardiol, Decaiper, Saliba, Gomez, Davis, okay. I think you've got enough, mate, for 2 or 3 decent lineups there. Raskin, Cham, Aronson, Lennon Miller, Bischoff, Baleba, Leopold, Ferro, like it. Ponchao again. I'm just not seeing anything like this glaringly obvious. Cherky, Fofana, Brown. Wow, I love that. Jimenez, Gui, Langa, Kipri, really nice one. Dion Bello. Again, mate, I think you're okay in under 23 and Prem. But then at the same time, like, I wouldn't add anything to the under 23 stuff because, like, the yield isn't necessarily like there like it is, or the potential to yield is not necessarily there like it is in Prem. Like, I don't know. Like, as far as, like, I know you're probably wanting to play more comps, and I get it. I completely do. I just don't know if it's the smartest thing to do. Like, I think look after what you've got, improve what you've got already, and if you're seeing, continuing to see good returns, then maybe start creeping out elsewhere. But don't creep out to another competition unless, like, what you've already done, if you've already covered what you've already kind of put in, that's kind of my motto with that. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, Nath. Catch up on the chat now. Next up is me SSV. Ooh. Okay, recently got back into limiteds as I missed the fun of building lots of lineups. Got stacks and collections of teams I visited. Rijeka, that's amazing. I got a signed jersey from Nuremberg. That's incredible. I was wondering if, with the players I've got in limited contender at the moment, do you think I can put out maybe 2, maybe 3 strong in season lineups to get some cash, or should I be looking to strengthen some areas? Interested to hear your thoughts. I appreciate your message, me SSV, and let's see what you got going on. Let me get the chat up as well. Sorry, just catching up. Where do I sign up? You've become a member. I just realised. Sorry, I was a couple of minutes late to that. I'm glad you figured it out. Hopefully you're into the Discord. If you're in the Discord, then yeah, get yourself into the Discord. It should be on the community tab on YouTube, like the link to get into the Discord, and I'll and get yourself into the monthly gallery review channel, and that'll be where I'll read from what you want me to look at, mate. So yeah, hope that makes sense, and thank you so much for becoming a member, mate. Cam says, why am I struggling to sell a level 14 Vanaken for under £10? Yeah, it's because there's no game this weekend or this midweek, Cam, I would say. I'd say wait until the leagues come back, and that'll be why. Like, why would somebody buy a Vanaken right now if they're not playing this weekend? That there's definitely that element of things right now. People just buy cards for the upcoming game week most of the time. GD says that, cheers, mate. Yeah, on a bad run with injuries. Was thinking of MLS and some classics that were playing in Brazil. Yeah, Brazil's fine. Like, I have a couple of Brazil cards for my Super Rares. Like, they're okay, but I wouldn't be, like, overly optimistic into getting into Brazil, really, if I'm being honest. Yeah, of course. Of course you can get a review, mate. Just to add, I could also play down some of my MX rares to go into some lineups. Yeah, I guess you could. Oh, yeah, we'll obviously have a look at that now. Me SSV. What time is best investing into MLS? I mean, in-season cards haven't come out yet. If you're talking classic, then it would probably been a month ago or a month and a half ago when the season started. The season ended. And it says, thanks. The reason I have mostly in season for my under 23 is simply for utility if they decide to move on. Yeah, 100%. I opted to do that for my Road to Glory as well. Saw my Enzo Fernandez. He was £60. I knew at the time it was time to cash, hoping he drops a bit. I know Enzo's on flames right now. Oh, Jorgensen conceded a pen. Yeah, Brazil's just you don't really want to get involved in Brazil, if I'm being honest. That's coming from somebody that plays like Brazilian cards. Like, it's not worth it. It's really not. Okay, back to me SSV then. So let's see what you got in contender. So you've got Big Johnny, Malencia, Reicha, Kavlina. Okay. Like, I know you've got the signed jersey and stuff from Nuremberg, which is great. But like they're not, as you probably know, they're not the best of teams right now. They've got a couple of good players. Like I love Kasper Janda, which is one of your better mids here. Leopold, so yeah, I like how you're bringing in a few other Bundes cards. I love the Rijeka stuff. They haven't been as good as I really would have hoped they would have been this year. Pavlicino, love that. Paradella, I love Paradella. He's awesome. Do you have enough to win things here? I think the honest answer is it's going to depend on the matchup. Like for Nuremberg, let's see who they play the next couple of games, and I'll kind of tell you if, okay, Kaiserslautern at home, Darmstadt at home, Ulm at home. Like there's definitely room for some good scores here, but like overall, I know last game they won at home 1-0. Like this was the time to win a reward with these, right? Clean sheet, all the defenders scored okay. You would have had to have had probably this guy here who's a midfielder, and then you probably would have had to have this forward. Like I'm not saying this wins a division, but like with a nice bit of collection bonus, this would have probably yielded you a decent reward if you picked goalkeeper, double defense, this guy is your captain, and then the forward. Like not saying that would have been the case, but that would have been the best Nuremberg team that you could have possibly picked for that week. And that's that's to say then that that could easily happen again. At home, another 1-0, another 2-0, because that's what you really need, right? For the whole stack to go off, you need the clean sheet, and you need your mid and your forward to basically get decisives most of the time. So yeah, I'm not writing off the Nuremberg boys. I'm just saying like they're not the best team in the Bundesliga too, but that's fine. You're playing for the matchups, you're playing for the home games, you're playing for the games where they have a better chance of winning than others, right? But I like how you've got a couple of differentials in there. Yeah, I think you've got enough to put out 2 or 3 good in-season teams. I do. I don't think you need to do a ton else. Like you can always improve, but like you've got a classic Hein. Like there's some good cards in here that could really help you. Like a Nuremberg defensive stack when they're at home, Janda in midfield, and then Hein up front. Like that's probably what I would do if the fixture aligned that way. Because you can have one classic card in season. So yeah, I think you're in good shape there, me SSV. I really, really do, mate. Okay, Geordie. I played Rare Champion season and I haven't done great. I think I lack quality, but I cannot get myself to put more money in, so I'm sort of stuck. Can't really win because of my medium quality gallery and poor lineup building and some genuine bad luck. We've all been there, mate. And on the other hand, don't want to invest more. Need some advice. If I were to put a little bit more money in, what should I target? Let's have a look, mate. Let's have a look. Let's see what we can figure out here. And I think Perplex did manage to get in. Love that, mate. Perplex is in the gallery review. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I just saw your message. Give that a little like. And yeah, we'll kick on from there. Let's have a look. Mikey Baston's noticed my William purchases. He might go back to Brazil, but he wasn't great there last time. So honestly, I don't want him to go to Brazil. I want him to go to the MLS. So I'm going to ring him up tonight and see if he fancies a little LA or Miami venture. I don't know. I just got a feeling he might end up there. I've got no intel on that. Like genuinely, I just saw there was 3 Super Reds up for £7 each. I was like, I'm not leaving them there just in case he does move. If he goes to Brazil, like it's a win because he was at Olympiacos, obviously. But like if he goes to MLS, then I'm a bit happier. It's just a punt, mate. Honestly, massive punt. Ipswich scored. Did they? No fucking way. No way. I'm just looking at my phone now. Let's have a look. No. Yeah, they're 1-0 up, in they? Ooh, Brian scored as well. Don't say it was my boy. It was a Dringa. Lewis Dunk assist. Wow. A Dringa. Yeah, Ipswich 1-0. Big Delap. Well, that's Jorgensen not playing again. Blown it. Absolutely blown it. Okay. Back to gallery reviews. Let's have a look what we got going on in Champ. Flecken, Meret, Rui Silva, Ronald, Providel. So, Silerson. Yeah, the issue is the goalies you have. It's not the biggest issue in the world, but the goalies I'm seeing there aren't the best. Not that you need the best goalies, but you need goalies to go on a bit of form sometimes. And get a couple of clean sheets in a row to just really help you out. Oliveira's class, Kuzanov's class, Rahmani's class as well. Sorry, I tried to pronounce that properly. Lorente. I think you've got your defenders are good. Like your defenders are good. Berardi, Højbjerg, Lo Celso, Grifo, Zakanji, Golovin, Anguissa, Teji, Palacios. Again, your mids are pretty okay as well. Kavicha in season, Lukman, Aspas. Like, I'm not just saying it. Like, I know obviously I build lineups for you as well. I don't know whether you go with them all every time, and that's fine if you don't, type of thing, because I don't get it right all the time either. But what I'm getting at is you've got enough quality here, mate, to get a few. I'm not saying to win every division, but you know what I mean. Like, cards of the quality that you have here probably should be picking up bits of in-season cash in Champ. I firmly believe that. The goalkeepers, like the classic ones are good, but some of the like Neuer and whatever, but like the in-season ones outside of like Sillissen maybe aren't really scoring that well. Zetner, like, I don't know. I think I'd maybe try and sell a couple of these classic goalies and turn them into an in-season version somehow. Like whether that's selling Meret and sell a Zetner and just buying in-season Meret or buying in-season Zetner, whatever it is. Like, I think you're lacking like one like real decent in-season goalkeeper option. Like Providel probably should have been that, but Lazio just can't keep a clean sheet for love nor money. He's fine. Like, he has scored well, but the last couple haven't been great, which is going to mean your points are just less, as you know. So I think you've got enough though, mate. I think you've got enough to get by. I really, really do. I just think maybe condense what you've got going on in goal, and get yourself like a decent in-season. Like, you have the Napoli. You probably need a Meret in season. You probably need a Meret in season to make this work a little bit better. Because like you got Kavicha, like you do have a Napoli stack there. You could go Kavicha, you could go any of these in-season mids, and then you can go Oliveira, Romani, and then you could use the Meret classic. Like, I'm not disputing that, but having the in-season Meret means that you could play like a classic card in the extra position. For example, I don't know, Palacios or whoever that could be like 100 capable that weekend, Mkhitaryan or whoever it is. I think that's along the lines I'm kind of looking at there. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, mate. And we are on to Michael Pallet. Finally, a general look at where I can improve my gallery. Very vague there, Michael. I see you're up to 300 cards. 300. I'm going to look over your Prem stuff and see if there's any obvious improvements to be made here. Leno, Flecken, Sells. Okay, sounds fine enough. Robinson, Van Heck, Nuri, Estupinan, Hall. I think your defenders are solid. Mitoma, Baleba, Damsgaard, O'Reilly, Gundo. Again, fine enough. But again, you are probably missing like, some of the better midfielders in the Prem, like your Enzos, Morgan Gibbs-Whites, for example. Bruno Fernandes, he's not been that great recently, but players like that, Cole Palmer, for example. You got middle of the road Prem players basically. There probably needs a little bit of a sprinkle of sort of world classness in whether that's a world class midfielder or whatever it is, to really just give yourself a better opportunity of doing well in that comp. Are you playing challengers still? Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, you got some nice goalkeepers there going on. Like it. Defenders look fine enough as well. Yeah. I can deal with that. Tanaka, Zorgan, Aronson, Hainan. Again, yeah, your mids look solid, mate. Your contenders, challenger stuff looks... Brahimi, love it. Your challenger stuff looks good, mate. I can't really argue with your challenger stuff. Let me catch up on the chat. Isak 1-0. Shock. Jane, you have to become a member of my YouTube channel to get a gallery review. You said it was best to invest in the MLS a month ago. If I was to buy them now, would it be a big overpay, and does that also go into the Asian leagues as well? It's tough. Like, I wouldn't be buying classic MLS cards, really, unless you're just going to buy one or two to go into in-season. You know what I mean? Like, playing classic, like, spending money on classic cards to play in classic is just... I just think it's a net negative. Like, you're just up against it because there's so many classic cards these days. So hard to win. If you're going to buy cards, buy in-season cards. It's not financial advice. But, of course, you can play one classic card in season. I'm not saying never buy classic, but I'm saying buy classic to play in season. You know what I mean? Yeah, like MLS cards are only going to creep up in value now over the next couple of weeks / months, I'm going to assume. But on the other hand, other people are going to wait for the in-seasons because that's where the catch is going to be won, you know? I'd love Liam Delap at Arsenal. Yeah, it'd be good. Way better than Jesus. Ooh, what happened with Chelsea, Arnold? Saw your Charles Super. I got second. Yeah, I think I am in second, Alexandru. I think I managed I think I've held on to second. I was first, but unfortunately I got pipped, and Zanka did get an error led to goal, but it didn't really matter. I'm still 40 points away from first, so I can't be mad. This is a very unexpected £400 win. So yeah, very, very pleased with this. I didn't expect it at all, but more than happy to take that. Very, very happy with that. Very, very happy. I should have done better here in Champ. Harry Wilson, I bought Bassi before the game week. I bought Thalvin before the game week. He did well. Bassi didn't do that well. And Ismail Assar, big chance created and big chance missed. Absolutely gutted. Would have scored over 400 points quite comfortably. Probably would have won, probably top 17 maybe. 100 quid or so. So yeah, that one's, definitely got my captaincy wrong there, but he also blanked. So yeah, a bit gutted about it, but you know, what can you do? But yeah, Michael, I hope that makes sense, mate. Definitely a few bits to improve on in the champ stuff, in the Prem stuff, sorry. Okay, Luis Flores. La Liga in-season rare. I want to add another mid, but there are none good. I want to add another mid, but there are no good defenders. I think I am set on forward. I have around €300. I was looking at Pedri. I mean, it doesn't really get much better than Pedri right now, does it? For La Liga. Let's see what you've got going on. No, I don't want that. I want La Liga. Let's have a look. Herrera, Romero, Oblak. Oh yeah, you've got all the goalies you'd probably want there. Araujo, Balde, Arambaru. Yeah, defenders is the killer, isn't it? And then I guess mids as well. Valverde. Oh, so you already have Pedri, but you mean you want to get an in-season Pedri? I'm guessing. Which makes sense for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. The mids do suck. I mean, Bellingham's the one, isn't he? If you can get a Bellingham, he's obviously the one. He's obviously a bit expensive, but if you can somehow afford a Bellingham, I really think he's the play. Yeah, your forwards are great. I love that Griezmann, by the way. Beautiful card. Your forwards are unbelievable. Yeah, I do think somehow, if you can somehow get a Bellingham together, whether that's, sell a couple of these classic cards, I don't know, but Bellingham's the one, isn't he, to get somehow. I really, really do. But the rest of your stuff's looking really strong, mate. Really, really strong. The defenders is a worry. It's just hard to get the good defenders. What about like an in-season Inigo Martinez instead of the classic that you've got? Could that help your in-season stuff potentially? Okay. Any other questions, mate? Let me know if you're in the chat and stuff. We can chat about them. James Johnson. Focusing on classic champ, building it into La Liga in season. Wait there. Sorry, lads. I just had a message. Building it to in-season La Liga and under 23 already covered. Looking at cross-pollination of collections to cover all areas like my Bayern and PSG collections plus La Liga in-season collections. Let's have a look what's going on. Cross-pollination is definitely a Quinny word if I've ever heard it. Michael says, looking to get more champ stuff. Yeah, if you're not enjoying the other areas, Michael, yeah, definitely look to maybe sell them on. Okay, wow. Yamal, Jude, Rafinha, Jesus. That is a beautiful. They're both beautiful cards. Wow. Yeah, you've got a lot going on here, don't you? A lot of Champ, a lot of La Liga, Prem, Bundes. Jesus. I mean, mate, James, you've got more than enough stuff going on here to win things. Not saying you haven't won things. I'm just saying that, like, I don't think much needs to be done, mate. It's just about finding the yield, for the right week when the in season stuff pops off. Jesus, like your La Liga stuff is as elite as it gets, really, right? The issue is with like a limited, a lot of people have these type of teams, so having a differential in there is very important. Like everyone has Real Madrid and Barca players, right? So it's about throwing in the Lo Celso sometimes, or throwing in the Isco or Fornals or whoever it is. Like it is always very important to do that, especially at limited, because there is just so many duplications of lineups. There's not a ton, but there's definitely enough to where it's quite noticeable, especially in the single league comps, and especially in the Liga, because it's very much dominated by Barca and Madrid. Obviously, there's a bit of like Real Sociedad and stuff in there, but not a ton, Excuse me, sorry lads. Andre Santos, love that. Tom Bischoff. How many goalkeepers you got? Mainly La Liga. Then there's a bit of classic stuff going on as well. I think my focus would be on your mids are fine, I think, for champ and stuff. Same for. I mean, you could probably do with a Kim. Oh, you have a Kimmich classic. Could a Kimmich in season help quite a bit? I think maybe an in season Hakimi. Any of these classic cards that you have that aren't in season. If in season is the goal, then having your better cards in season is probably where you want to be a lot of the time. Obviously budget depending, but yeah, mate, there's not a ton that can really go not wrong, but there's not a ton that I'd really look to improve on there, mate. I really wouldn't. Rob Williamson, what's happening, Rob? Just have Chelsea and Celtic stacks mainly. Best way to expand on in-season Prem. Let's have a look what you've got in-season Prem. So you got the Sanchez and the Jose Sa. Okay, like it. Colwill, Cucurella, Wesley Fofana, Badiashile, Chilwell. Okay. Enzo. Okay, yeah, you probably want to get a couple of better mids there, I would say. João Gomez is fine, but Enzo's your only like main mid there. Palmer, Jackson, yeah. So you basically have the Chelsea stack with a bit of Wolves in there. I think you're going to probably want another mid, I would say. Another good mid. So whether that's a Rice, whether that's a Bruno when he's kind of backfiring, Phil Foden, Gravenberch has been really good. Obviously, Gibbs White's been great. Bruno Guimaraes. I think that's there's a couple of cheap options like Lewis Cook is half decent. Harry Wilson, if he can find himself a starting spot in this Fulham team, which it looks like he's kind of working towards, could be an interesting one. But that's probably as far as Jacob Murphy's been pretty good actually. There's definitely something I would add to that Chelsea stack, I think, because I'd be going Sanchez, Colwill or Cucurella, Enzo, and then Palmer obviously. But you don't want to probably go double defensive stack all the time with Chelsea. I think having an option to have, you could go double forward easily with Jackson and stuff. But so many people have that Chelsea stack. You're going to need a differential. So buying one of those mids that I kind of mentioned. And if they have a good matchup the weekend that Chelsea do, then I think that's kind of the play. Because otherwise you're just going to be up against so many Chelsea stacks. It's just impossible to have the best. Not impossible to have the best one, but you're just up against so many other ones with big collection bonuses, So I hope that makes sense, Rob. And yeah, I appreciate you massively. Okay, next up is 170. SAT? SAT or SAT? It's probably SAT, isn't it? Okay, sorry, late getting in this. Had about 2 months off Sorare, just getting back into it. I'm feeling so lost what to do. Wondering where you think to expand outside of Celtic. Sorry for being so vague. No, it's all good. But thinking maybe trying to get into the Prem by selling off some of my cards, etc. Or maybe just putting more money in. I'm not sure. Okay, what is your most expensive stuff then? It's all the Celtic stuff, right? Oh, you have PSV as well. Do you have much Challenger? Doesn't look like you do. Well, no, I'd probably sell that. Walter Benitez, by the way. It doesn't look like you have a ton of Challenger stuff going on here. I mean, you have Carlos Heel, I guess. You have a lot of Classic, but I'd definitely get rid of that card. So it doesn't look like you have a ton of Challenger stuff outside of it. I mean, do you have any exposure to Prem right now? Or would you be starting from scratch? Yeah, you basically be starting from scratch, wouldn't you? Which I'm not going to tell somebody not to play Prem if they don't, if they enjoy it and they want to get in on it. Like I wouldn't say no, but be prepared to spend a decent chunk of money to get some good cards in, because you're up against it collection bonus wise, and then you're gonna have to get some good cards in, which I'm not saying you can't do. But yeah, I'd definitely keep the Celtic stuff though. I'd keep the Celtic stuff. Maybe add, to get better at contender. Maybe we've mentioned it already, but I'm still quite high on the Bundesliga too. There's definitely a few cards maybe in there, like your Vanizek, for example, when like maybe you don't think McGregor's going to score that well. You've got a Cuisance, which is nice. Like those type of cards can become really useful. I mean, I see you have the Barco, which is going to be huge when Argentina's back. So your contender stuff's really strong. I'd say just like I basically go like Celtic with Barco. Other people do that as well, so you've got to be careful with it a little bit to have a good collection bonus and stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily do anything to the contenders. As far as your challengers go, like Trafford's amazing. Like his price is really high right now. I don't know whether you want to maybe cash in on him. Same for Benitez. Like there's some goalkeepers there that I'd maybe look to move on, and that could help you, with your war chest to go into Prem. I think that would be my my way of attacking that, mate. Hope that makes sense. Now we're getting into our final member, and I know there was somebody in the chat that did want a gallery review that is a member but didn't have Discord. So if you are still with me, please do just let me know you're still in the chat, and I can go and do that after this. If you're not here, then I'm sorry, but if you are here, please do make yourself known, and we'll get that sorted. Perpetrix. Okay, let's get into this then. Just become a member, mate. Love the content on your channel. Absolute bloody legend, mate. Been following you for a while now. Unbelievable. Just thinking where there are areas I can improve upon within my Prem lineups, as that is what I mainly focus on, and maybe expanding into Champ. Okay, let's have a look, mate. Prem. Currently got 2 Division 2 lineups and 1 Division 3 lineup in Prem. My collection is only limited as of right now. That's fine, mate. I've only just started. Yeah. Limited is probably the best place to play this game now these days, because it's as liquid as anywhere else. Like it's as liquid. It's the most liquid division or region, or scarcity, by a mile. So if you want to get out of cards, there's always normally a buyer there at some point, and it's the cheapest entry point, and there's still a good amount to win there. Like it is the best place to play. It just is. Okay, Prem. What have we got going on then? Floor low to high. Allison, Sells, Flecken, Saar. Okay, you've got more than enough keepers there, right? All in season as well, which is nice. Van Dijk, Robinson, Bradley, Mikolenko, Milenkovic, Murillo, Van Hecker, Ola Aina. Okay. Yeah, I'd say you probably got enough there. Midfield. Gravenberch, McAllister, Sob, Gibbs White, Elliot Anderson. Okay. I think you're missing a little bit of quality here. Like, the Liverpool lads are obviously always going to do it for you. The Forest lads are on fire as well. Love a bit of Harry Wilson in there. But again, are we missing a bit of exposure to maybe the Chelsea lads here? Like your Palmers, your Isaks right now. Like there's big cards that like you're kind of missing for me, which could then get you into that sort of Division 1 realm for what I'm seeing here. Salah's obviously a massive get. Like having him is huge right now. Kulu, Diaz, like you've got wicked forwards and stuff. I'm not disputing that, but you know, for the right matchup and stuff, sometimes it's nice to have a Palmer. It's nice to have maybe a Phil Foden when City are at home. You know, like things like that. I think maybe is where you're like, because you're like the reason maybe why you're not in a Division 1 yet. I know you've only just started playing and stuff, but those are the big things for me. And maybe a Trent. I know there's transfer speculation and stuff, but like, you know, you look at Liverpool's team yesterday, which player scores 100 in the defence? It's Trent, right? So like that's the issue with stuff like this. Like he's the difference there, isn't he, in that lineup? As far as like he scored the most on the pitch. And if you have a Liverpool stack without him, you're just up against it, aren't you? That's just the brutality of it. So I think there's a few additions to be made here. A Trent, maybe, you know, a Palmer of some sort, whether that's, you could even get the classic Palmer and have the midfielder version. I wouldn't be mad at that. That can definitely work. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with that Perpetrix, sorry. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, mate. And yeah, hopefully we can improve upon what we've already got going on here, because you've got a wicked core. There's a really good core going on here. I think it just needs a little bit of a buffer, and I think we'd be away, lads. So I haven't had another message through on the chat, so I'm going to assume he's not in with us right now. So I am sorry about that. We'll get that done another time, of course. But yeah, lads, it's been a pleasure. Just over 3 hours. Somebody asked for a 3-hour stream, and we've delivered 3 hours and almost 10 minutes. Unbelievable support on the Twitch subs, by the way. I did not expect that. First day streaming. Oh, we've been streaming on Twitch for a month or so, but you know, first day or first stream having the ability to have Twitch subs. We've managed 19, which is mental, absolutely crazy. So thank you so much for everyone that got involved on the Twitch subs and stuff, and Tom for donating some of those subs. I think DD donated a bucket ton as well. So everyone, lads, honestly, you don't understand how much it means to me. It's insane. It really, really is. And yeah, all the new YouTube members as well. It's been a pleasure. I've really, really enjoyed today. Sorry, is what I was going to say. And yeah, I've got a busy couple of days now in real life to get going on. So content might be a bit slower for me over these next few days, as I'm, like I said, expecting my first child. So yeah, exciting times. Wish you all the best for this midweek. It's quite a relatively quiet midweek. There's a bit of championship going on. I think Arsenal play as well, don't they, against Brentford, and the Scottish League plays as well. But it's been a pleasure, lads. I'm going to get a bite to eat now because I'm bloody starving, and I might catch the rest of I will catch the rest of the Prem games. No, two Prem games on right now, right? Or 3 Prem games with Brighton as well. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, lads. I'm rambling now. I'm sorry. I've taken up too much of your time already. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I will see you guys very, very soon.